Welcome back, everyone, to Abomination Vaults on the UGT Entertainment Network. Episode 14.5.
Yes,
I think we just
excellent.
I think we just put it as 15 on the actual title card.
Oh, okay. This will be 15, and the next episode will be 15.2.
7.
0.2.
We're just gonna start with numbers at random.
That'll work.
Can we just go straight to 18 or 19?
Then we'd level up.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be level 6.
So I'll just move you to the back of the book, but you'll keep your current characters. So
No, I want to be level 6 because then
it's
I
like
get
reverse
litany.
isekai. You're just gonna get super punched.
Oh, yeah.
I get
That'd be a
litany
great
against
show.
the-
It'd be like, oh no.
It would be nice and
floor
brief.
Very brief.
We'd
show.
all have a great time,
We
and
wouldn't
then we
know
can move on to the
where
next
we were.
show.
We wouldn't know why we were there. We wouldn't know how to get out.
Exactly. It would
How
be
many
awful.
How many encounters can you run away from?
And you skipped forward in time, so it's like all the floors above you are still
It's
occupied.
still there, yeah.
Yeah, you get to want to play out what Otari Vashti's final days really were like.
Yeah. Honestly, not a terrible.
You know what? It would be full of pathos and full of wonderful drama.
Yes.
Much like the drama we're in right now, because when last we left our heroes, this giant pile of gibbering flesh was trying to consume them one by one, and the party was...
I did get consumed,
I was
just
gonna say, you
clarifying.
did.
did.
One's one person.
You totally did. And we will see if they can... Half the party had decided that discretion was the better part of valor. We'll see what the rest of them
The
think
better
about.
half.
The better half of the party. The better half of valor. Indeed. But back into combat we go. I believe when last we left, before the internet cut out, we were right about when Corin was getting ready to take his turn.
Yep.
And when last I recall, let's see here. What was the combat map like? We'll get it pulled over here.
Well, I remember that Calbum is somewhere down a tunnel.
Yeah, Calbum, as I recall, was like running away, possibly also screaming, but definitely running as fast as his little gnome legs would carry him. Honestly, probably speaks well to his level of self-preservation that he would, that would be his reaction.
Nil
I don't know
was
about the
heading
rest
that
of
way
you.
too.
Nil's reaction was the absolute opposite, but she's been bullied into running away, so there she goes.
What's going on with Nil and this person known as Nil as we're running down here? Because we haven't done character intros yet.
Oh, indeed we have not, and I suppose we certainly can.
We can do them in initiative order.
In initiative order would work. We'll start then in that case with Nil, who's really should be up front and be first because Nil is way far away.
Well, hello. I'm Bryn. I'm playing Nil Grumman, our dwarven druid. Here, I mean, honestly, this is a pretty phenomenal monster. I would love to check it out, but, it is a little bit scary as well. And scary monsters, sometimes they're actually better left alive so that they can develop into scarier monsters later.
Fair enough. Maybe it'll be a better conversationalist at that point.
Well, it's got plenty of teeth, so that makes a good conversationalist.
Mm-hmm. Corwin!
The teeth, not the voices. It's the teeth that make you be able to speak the words.
No, the trick is you just have to, you have to really get in tune with your gibbering mouther.
Yeah, no.
Once you understand what it's
No.
telling you, that's when you're in sync.
It's all about knowledge.
Eldritch Horror, no, you don't want to know that. That's bad.
You're the wrong person to say that.
But I'm researching a different kind of Eldritch Horror, which doesn't
that
look like a
makes it
pile of
different.
flesh.
It's different when
That
I
makes
do
it
it.
It's
different.
totally
Yeah,
fine.
when I do it, it's okay.
Dude, my Elder God's cooler than your Elder God.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's just a pile of bad.
Just?
Yeah.
It's pretty...
That's it. I mean, you're
It's
really
bad.
just throwing monsters under the bus over here.
Well, why
Like,
don't you
Go
tell
ahead
us
and-
about this character that seems to have such a skewed perception of how the
Well,
world works?
currently, Corwin is very much, it ate his cousin whole, and a arrow managed to pierce its side enough for him to climb back out. So, Corin of Vashti, resident investigator, currently with a bow drawn at this thing, trying to get everyone the heck out of this cave, because it's awful and bad, and that thing's nasty, and I don't like it. It makes my brain hurt, and it makes my cousin stop moving, which, with a hero point from, let me see who this was, because,
Yeah, because Mocker is still kind of clutching his head. He's looking a little dizzy as this gibbering seems to have overwhelmed his senses.
I'm real paralyzed.
well, thanks to Lucidios, with Stay in the Fight, from Hero Point card, at the start of your turn, perfect timing, when you or an ally is affected by an ongoing incapacitation effect, which I'm pretty sure classifies as what they're under.
I think that's confusion, actually.
Yep. The creature ignores that incapacitation effect until the end of your turn. This does not count as part of the duration, so you'll get it back next turn, but you can Get away from it this turn.
So didn't you just get that the
Yes.
last turn?
I got it, I think, like 1 or 2 turns before we fought this.
Dang, Lucidios is like
It was
prescient.
perfectly
Handing
timed.
those out.
This is no longer the land of confusion.
Well, speaking of land of confusion, tell me about the confused one here who might get a brief window of clarity.
Oh, that's pretty. I'm Altamok, brief window of clarity, Thornguard. Mocker, for short. Here with Digestion Doggo. Well, hoping not to be Digestion Doggo, now that I think about it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about this thing for a second.
No. Thaumaturge, human, and very much covered in the unknowable, the unthinkable, the unsmellable. No, it's smellable. It's unfortunately very smellable. I only have one friend beside me and one family member behind me and 2 lovely friends running down the hallway and 1 new friend in front of me.
That's not a
it's,
friend.
you know what?
It could
If
be
ever-
a friend.
If ever there was someone that you thought could be your friend,
You
this thing is starting to
got a
look
friend
pretty.
in me.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? You're feeling some kinship here, really. Maybe, honestly, the surroundings are getting a little bit hazy here. And what about poor Drevin, the only sane man?
Howdy, I'm Derp, and I play Drevin Sorrel, the nearly 7-foot-tall Great Gnoll, wielding the mighty hammer of Sarenrae, keeper of the Saren Way, the pious puppy, the full plate, big man in the front who has just hit the pile of goop with the maul, and it didn't seem to do much. Just kind of pulling it back out.
That's
like
a great
hitting-
sound effect, by the
It's
way.
That was
like
a great
hitting
sound effect.
mud.
It's glutinous.
And I'm Nick. I'll be
Lupinus.
playing your gibbering mouther for today.
We should do this all the time. We've got to do the GM intro.
Well, I mean, I never do it because I never have a monster up, but now I can actually, like, this is my character for the
That's
next 10
your
minutes.
fault.
I
You
think
need
you
to
should
cut out of
I
initiative
think you
more.
should still do a GM intro. I think that was awesome.
Oh, well, fair enough then. But anyway, I will be playing this gibbering mouther for at least the next few minutes, and possibly anyone else these bunch of chuckleheads decide to talk to. Action!
Run! My cousin can run. Just shake it off. We'll deal with it later. Let's go.
And
And running down the
Corwin-
tunnel.
Hey, I can
Books
move!
it down. And actually what happens so much isn't that you can move, because moving wasn't an issue before. As you recall, your head was filled with these echoing sounds that seemed to kind of it almost like bled into what you were seeing around you and perceiving around you. And for the briefest moment, you weren't sure where your friends were. But with Corwin's snapping declaration,
Wet dog.
you are kind of yanked back into the present, really, snap back to reality, as it were. And
there goes gravity.
And then, yeah, woo, and the slide whistle plays, and you are back in control of your faculties for a brief moment.
As
at
much
least.
as I ever am.
As much as you ever are.
All right. You good? We're leaving, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm booking it down the hallway.
Woo, and Mocker takes off running. And Drevin, what would you like to do?
Leave.
I hold your ground. Hold your ground.
Yeah, definitely hold my
Clomp, clomp,
no,
clomp,
just
clomp, clomp, clomp. Yeah, hold your ground. No.
Yeah. You can take it.
And you start running down the hallway, and you can hear behind you the slithering, the plopping, and the sounds echoing down the stone passageway after you. But those start to fade behind you as you run. And at about as you're running down this this passageway, Mocker's eyes are gonna kind of like glaze over again, and he's going to stumble down. And you find that the gibbering mouther seems to come out of the walls in front of you, and it
Oh.
opens its mouth, charging at you again.
That's not good.
What you want to do about it?
Can I think at all?
Yeah,
Oh,
you can
okay,
think. This
okay.
looks awful, you say.
Cool. Well, there's only one thing to do, really, and that's go under it. He's already been inside of it, and he didn't really like that much, so if it's charging at him, he's going to attempt to take a quick hop and a run off the wall, and then he's going to attempt to roll by it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Go ahead and give me that acrobatics check.
That's going to be a 23.
23. So Mocker is running down the hallway, and then he kind of stops. His eyes kind of glaze over a bit, and he's like, "It's in the walls! It's in the walls!" And he runs, kicks off the wall, swings his sword, diving over Corwin's head, cutting you in the back for... Looks like, if I added that up right, if I recall your character sheet correctly, is going to be 10 points of slashing damage.
Against
Did
AC
you max
20?
roll?
Yep. And runs down the hallway.
Does that include her personal antithesis stuff in there?
No.
I didn't roll.
Because she didn't
make
exploit
any of
weakness
that.
you.
Just making sure.
Even if she exploited weakness the Gibbering Mouther, it wouldn't work on you.
You have the same weaknesses.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Well, you know
And
what's happening
give me a
when
will save.
And because he did a roll, he gets to step for free if the thing tried to attack him.
I'm not.
I know, but you're the enemy right now.
Gibbering
We're
Mouther.
all the enemy
Yeah.
right
It's
now.
The Gibbering
for you.
Mouther.
That's a nat 20, my boy.
Oh my gosh.
And you're kind of stumble
cutting
for
through
a
his
bit.
cousin actually causes dissonance. Like, he has extreme loyalty to his family. When he hears Corwin call out, it actually does snap him back to reality. And he'll turn around and he'll look at you and he'll go, "I am so sorry."
No
in my
time.
head,
We need to go.
in my head, you were the monster,
Just
and I'm
running
so
by,
sorry.
lay on hands,
I can
it's
take
gone.
care of it faster.
And he will look guilty, and a tear will kind of form in his eye, but he'll continue running down the hallway.
As you run, why don't you give me, this will be for Corwin, give me a perception check.
That is a 19 total.
19 total.
Plus one if it's related to my lead.
As you are running down this hallway, the horrible echoes of this creature fading into the behind you, your eyes catch sight of something on the northern wall. A clear indentation that seems to push upward, and what appears to be a rather poorly disguised door that's been built into the cave wall. Might not have any interest in exploring it just now, but you notice it's there.
Doesn't wait. Just sees it, shoulder straight through.
It does continue straight onward, but you want to shoulder straight through it. That's fine. Give me a athletics check.
That's not going to be good.
It's gonna be funny, though.
It's just
Run
gonna,
into a wall. We're like,
20s
wow,
exist.
okay.
They-
Got
they
confused
do.
as well.
That's
That's
a 3.
not a 20.
That's a 4 on the die for a 3 total.
Great. You're gonna take 6 points of bashing damage.
Yep.
Well, if
So
we look back,
Corwin just looks to the right, takes a hard right, and slams into the stone wall.
Trying to find a way out of here. There's something through right here.
The corridor does continue straight ahead of you, by the way.
Through the door, keep going straight.
I don't know if that thing's still chasing us. This is closer.
It sounds like it's further away.
Can I
I'll try
take a
the
look
door.
at the wall? Is there a door in the wall?
Well, he's pointing it out to you, and you can see how it looks like a door now that he's pointing it out.
I'll try it.
Try the door. You try to figure out how the thing works. Yeah, you start kind of examining the door kind of carefully. Give me a perception check.
All right. That's an 8 total.
8 total.
On a 1. So I'm just gonna hammer the door.
Sounds good. Boo, boo. It is made of stone, at least on this side of it is, and it does not respond particularly well. You might be able to break your way through it, given, like, some downtime activity, but you're certainly not going to break through it in, like, a matter of rounds.
so I'm gonna turn around from like wherever I am,
You're
like further
probably a
down,
little further ahead of them.
and I'm like, kind of understand what's happening behind me. Like he cut Corwin, and then Corwin ran into a wall, and then Drevin started attacking the wall, and I'm like,
Maybe don't get too close.
I don't know. Maybe I feel like that part of I feel like that part of the hallway might be cursed. So maybe we should keep moving.
I'm gonna take out a piece of chalk, put an X on the part of the rock, and then grab them and say, "Come on, we'll come back to it later."
Fair enough.
As long as it gets us away from that thing.
You start running down this hallway. And the hallway, this is pretty rough cut to begin with. The floor was still proper floor. But as you move down, this floor turns very much unworked. The walls was fairly rough cut to begin with, but now it's looking particularly it's looking pretty worn right now. It wasn't carved naturally, or it looks natural, but it wasn't worked. And it starts to look, but it still kind of keeps a fairly regular volume. Like it's still like kind of almost like you're going through a tube kind of thing. In fact, anyone with some nature that cares to think about it for a minute.
Me.
Go ahead and give me that
I'm
roll.
also a dwarf.
You're also a dwarf.
Rocks.
I can take a
Do you have a
look.
dwarven rock thing? Did you pick that type of dwarf?
No, but I do have like a dwarven culture lore, but that doesn't really count.
Probably not for this, no.
So that
Dwarven
would be
culture is
17.
A 17.
Is it secret or?
I mean, it's more fun when players roll dice, so...
Okay, that's a 12.
It's a 12.
3 on the die.
Okay, perfect.
Can I roll too?
So you just, if you just want to not know things...
I'm not trained,
I
but
was
it'll
gonna
be
say-
funny if I get the highest
I am
number.
trained.
That
I
will
just
be fair.
Rolled
Okay.
a 3.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And you? Yeah, appropriate? Okay, great. Secret checks. This is why we do secret checks. But Nil, your dwarven heritage combined with your knowledge of the natural phenomena of the world, you think you understand what this could be. You are moving through a very old, because this is clearly has happened a long time ago, but this is the tunnel that was carved away by a creature called a purple worm. Purple worms are, for those of you at home who may not be familiar, are massive underground predators. They are probably about the size of a
An Alaskan
subway
bullworm.
train, and they are able to burrow and dig their way through rock, which is something that they actually just do, not only as they travel, but also they consume minerals, which they use to kind of reinforce their carapace and, eat. They also are not picky eaters, however. They will eat whatever they happen to come across, and whenever they kind of pop above ground, they will eat whatever they find, whether it wants to be or not. And usually whatever they find is much smaller than it, so they don't have too much trouble doing it. But whenever they do dig holes, they tend to just... the hole still stays there. And so, thankfully, this happened a long time ago. And there really is no sign of the worm right now. But the tunnel is still here.
I'm like, dang it.
Sane.
Also-
Slightly less.
They're very purple.
They are also...
the name is
It's
not
better.
like a what's the word?
That color.
They're styling
Yeah.
and they're
Misnomer.
also cool.
They're like this.
Mm.
They're very purple. The name is not a misnomer.
Yeah, no, they're actually purple. This is true. Yeah. Also, because Golarion is a death world, just that no one knows it, they're common.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
So you just kind of run into them sometimes.
And there's more than
Excellent.
just purple. There's multiple colors.
Look, man.
Because, of course.
They're only common until Paizo decides to create a campaign where you fight nothing but purple worms. After that, they will become uncommon.
Sky King's
There you
Tomb
go.
did just come out recently.
See? Kind of like golems were common before
Yep.
Age of Ashes.
There you
and
go.
now they're
Lesser
not.
deaths roam the fields of Taldor. They're common.
Just happens. Just gotta be careful. Just make sure you put your sunblock on when you're
Yeah.
outside. Floppy hat.
Okay, so let's more tunnel.
More tunnel. And you follow this tunnel, and this tunnel just goes. This thing is moving in a reasonably straight line. You're used to purple worm tunnels kind of meander. Kind of like,
We're
say,
used
like...
to them.
Huh?
I'm used to them.
Ah.
I am a monster studier. Thank you
That's
very
fair.
much. This is exactly what I'm interested in.
Yeah, purple worms, they tend to kind of move in a sort of like a slithering fashion because it lets them get a broader coverage to find ore veins and other things that they might be interested in. They don't usually just go in a straight line like this. So for some reason, that's not what happened here.
Maybe it was trained by someone. What if it was for reins?
It could have been. It's distinctly possible. You have heard rumors of certain powerful individuals who have claimed to be able to tame or train purple worms, but you've never actually seen one.
I could probably do it.
And that's how Nil will likely meet her end. We will go ahead and clip it, everybody. That's what's going to happen.
You don't know. Maybe her mom will teach her.
Yeah, it could be. Bones, by the way, kind of floating up there, is kind of looking down at this area, kind of looking around. Huh.
Bones, what do you see with your fishy sight?
No, I'm just wondering if Craggleguts is the one who did this.
Who's Craggleguts?
Does it have a name?
Well, I mean, I named it.
Oh my goodness, Buns, you are now. Tell me everything.
Oh, well, when I was still in a goblin body, Mistress Belcora, she had like a lot of creatures. She had like so many creatures, and like the fish is kind of bobbing emphatically, as in he does not feel he can properly tell you how many creatures that she had. But one of them was a purple worm, and I know about it because she would like keep it. I think she had a pen for it on the second floor somewhere.
She had a pen for it?
Yeah, she like would put it somewhere on the second floor. I'd hear it sometimes. I never knew where that pen was though. Yeah, I never saw it. I'm glad I didn't either. If I went in there, it'd probably eat me. But she like kept it in there. But sometimes she'd pull it out like with magic. And I think she had. It's all straight like this. I think it's because she told Craggleguts to dig this tunnel a long time ago.
Are you sure you and Belcora aren't the ones who are related?
Maybe. Nothing is out of the question, but I kind of remember. I don't know.
Survival. Is this the direction of Absalom?
Because
knowing directions is a survival check.
Yeah, it totally is. Give me a survival check. You've been underground a lot, but let's see.
25.
No, this tunnel heads south towards the coast, which would be the closest coast.
Maybe this was intended to be an out, an escape route, something.
Maybe.
Transporting goods in if she's got more down below this.
Probably not an escape route. Miss Belcora wasn't really one for escape routes.
She did kind of fight the Rose Guard upstairs and,
yeah.
blew up.
But I mean, maybe she just wanted to not be able to get to the coast without walking through the swamp. That could be.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a secret underground base, it makes sense. You need a way to get, supplies in and out.
And the swamp is smelly.
Or maybe...
I mean, I don't know now because I don't have
Maybe
a nose,
she wanted...
The fish fins try to go forward, but it can't reach the nose area of the fish.
Maybe she wanted to give him a place to play, and this was her way of taking him for a walk.
I don't think you know Miss Belcora.
Yeah, that seems so far off base as to be, I think you're actually got knocked for a loop there.
No, I feel like that is the most reasonable line of thinking. I would do just the same thing.
I mean, if you have a pet, you have to be able to exercise it, or else it's going to just
Yeah.
blow up your pen.
Belcora
so.
don't seem the type to keep a pet. It seemed like more a tool.
You say like this like you know her. What are you saying here?
You say it like you do.
I mean, they
What?
do have a lot in common.
Yeah, they're both insane.
She's not quite insane. She's a very pretty dwarf.
Thank you. I agree.
And the tunnel continues onward, and as you walk, Dreven's nose picks up an interesting scent.
Is it the scent of the ocean?
It is the scent of fish. Distinctly fishy smell.
Now, what kind of fishy are we talking? Like, I just went fishing, or like there might be aboleths in front of us fishy?
It smells like
Rotten or
a
fresh?
fish. It smells like a fish processing facility.
So like a
Probably
fishery.
aboleths then. Okay.
I mean, it also, if it's going towards the coast, it could also just be a fishery.
Yeah, but if there's fresh fish, I don't trust that.
When?
Yeah.
What fish are in the ocean?
We'll see.
One
If there's
other
aboleths, I
thing,
get 10 schmeckles.
Nil, as you walk,
You have to keep 10
and just
books.
kind of as your your hands just move, keeping your kit in place because not all of it is, it's very custom made, all of it. You'll feel something kind of in the pocket here on your tunic, and peering inside, you can see that there's actually a little tiny clutch of centipede eggs.
I've never been.
You recall that pocket is in fact exactly where the little centipede went, right before it went off on its last journey.
Nick, I'm so happy about this IRL. This is the best thing you've ever given me in my entire life.
I had to actually Google centipedes, by the way, to just see like how the egg laying thing works and to make sure they don't give live birth. They don't. They totally lay eggs.
They don't.
Most
When I said
insects.
I was pregnant, that was on purpose.
Yeah.
For like a little bit dazed as she has been, now the energy is like through the roof over here for Nil. And whatever I mean, we have been walking for a while. Whatever, just like, ugh, this is so boring. This is the longest walk ever. No, I'm like, doop, 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 doop. Let's go.
And it takes, you've probably been walking for about a grand total of like 20 minutes. And you will, that fish smell kind of gets noticeably stronger. And the cave will break out into what looks like a bunch of interconnected little tiny rooms. Again, this cave system has been here a while. You can, looking around, you see like carvings on the walls, scratching on the walls that look like they were carved by something about the size of Calbum. There's nothing above like the 4-foot level on the wall, but there's lots of scratches on the low ones. They tend to be kind of like, you see like some triangular faces with like big teeth marks. You see like kind of scribbled into. Anyone speak any Draconic?
Yes.
No.
This is Draconic graffiti. Things such as Bill's was here. And little horned heads that look really fierce. And then you see like there's like a tally counts that have been carved into the walls.
That cool S from middle school.
Yeah, there you go. That little S thing there. You see that's carved in there a few times. And it seems that Corwin, just kind of looking at this, just from being familiar with the area, you recall that there was a problem maybe a few months ago with a tribe of kobolds that had tried to invade the town of Otari and cause problems. It looks as though that the tunnel has opened up into what was at once a kobold warren.
Keep your eyes out for any little scaled fellas.
Oh, I thought there were gnomes.
No.
Don't gnomes live in caves?
Just Calbum.
Oh, Calbum told me that all gnomes live in caves.
I mean, the deep gnomes, but they ain't all gnomes.
They could also be scaly. I am very interested to see one of these.
They're kobolds.
Or
Yes,
scaled
I
gnomes.
haven't really met many kobolds in our town. Honestly, Drevin is our most exciting member of our town.
I mean, partially because, the ones that we have met been causing issues with stealing fish and food and supplies and whatnot.
Getting delusions of grandeur, talking about enslaving the humans, burning the town down, things like that.
Yeah, they ain't exactly the most welcome sort.
They got cleared out fairly violently, as you recall.
Maybe that's why Calbum eventually decided to leave his cave so he wouldn't grow scales.
It's not
Maybe.
how that works.
I have
Look.
heard about the gnome fading. That's what happens after they fade.
They grow scales?
Yes.
They go white and lose color.
Right. And then they shed their skin like a lizard and they turn into a kobold.
Oh, dude, Mocker will start writing this down in his journal. Like, this is absolutely how, kobolds get born.
This is how thaumaturges actually get their powers and why every
This
single
is
one
why
of
we
them
work well
has
together.
dubious knowledge.
Keep an eye out. I gotta get this sword wound taken care of.
No, just lay on hand.
I don't worry about it. I got it.
I
I
don't
don't
want
need
free.
Saren Ray involved in this.
He did already heal
free.
you. So.
Whoa!
I can take care of myself.
Doesn't need your god in
I
this.
would like some.
Oh.
Boop.
Thank you. How much?
Should be 12.
Oh, cool. Back to
Sweet.
full.
Actually, that feels like it would have been a little bit more than 12. You feel this kind of warmth, kind of rush. It from the point of his touch, and you feel it radiate from your back to kind of sort of subsume your whole being.
Thank Thank you, Drevin. That felt lovely.
And he
Of
does
course.
kind of glow a little bit. You've never quite seen that happen before. The Kobold Warrens are, well, very dense, layered on top of each other, but ultimately appear to be entirely abandoned. As you move their way forward, unfortunately, Nil does not get to meet a kobold. But traveling through, you work your way up, and the Warrens actually break out into a hidden passage, which leads into the basement of a building. And as you approach it, that fish smell gets noticeably stronger. And you start to hear commotion of, not like commotion as in shouting or something like that, but just like the sounds of work, the sounds of people. And coming out into this...
People.
Yeah, people.
People.
Okay.
Yeah, like you can understand them if you pick them
Actual people.
out. Actual people.
Human.
And coming out into this basement of this building, you see a set of stairs, and the basement looks like it is like they store things here, and every one of you can smell the fish smell.
Just gonna walk out of the basement.
This Tamley's?
In fact, walking out of the basement, you can see people working, and people kind of blink at you as a group of motley armed adventurers walk out of their basement. Where'd y'all come from?
The basement.
Well, I can see that, but how did you get in the basement?
The tunnel.
Kobold Warren goes back to below. Don't worry about it. We'll
Yeah,
figure it out.
the kobolds. Yeah, they got cleared out months ago. What were you doing down there?
The tunnel.
There's a tunnel going further in.
Getting eaten.
Oh, okay. All right.
Maybe don't go down there.
We
Oh gosh, there's more trouble. Miss Tamley, and he kind of runs off. You had a chance to meet Miss Tamley Tandervale.
she paid us.
She did. She paid you well. You hired her, and she was able to get her fishery on the coast up and running. This is her main operation here in the town of Otari, and she happens to be working today, and she'll come down to warmly greet the lot of you. Welcome. You all came out of the basement? It says that there might be trouble down there now?
Not particular. It was pretty clear all the way here.
It goes to the gauntlet, though. Be careful.
The Gauntlet?
Yeah.
I thought that was just Kobold Warrens.
No, it
There's
goes all the way to the gauntlet.
There's
Oh
a
my
tunnel,
goodness.
probably about half hour's walk down.
Oh, this is terrible news.
You may
No.
want to...
Now this is fantastic news. It's a direct access for us.
I mean, we haven't had much problem going back down, but
There's nothing down there.
there's plenty down there.
Well, there's at least some... You all went to the... I don't want any of those... of you know who's crazy creatures coming up into the basement of my fishery.
Yeah, just collapse the tunnel.
Maybe I... There's all those warrens down there. We would have done that and sealed it up, but those warrens are extensive. Maybe I'll just get a gate. A big old heavy iron gate.
That seems very reasonable.
And certainly a lot more affordable than large-scale demolition that might collapse some of the town. Goodness gracious. All right. All right.
Also, you never know when there's going to be a gnome down there that's going to fade and turn into a kobold.
Just
They
ignore
got
it.
knocked
Ignore
for
it.
a loop and had some weird stuff happen. Don't
Oh.
listen to him right now.
You might want to go. You might want to go see the librarians about that sort of thing if you've got thrown for a loop there.
The lady protects me.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what, Mocker? It's great to see you again. I'm
That's the
glad-
appropriate response.
Yeah.
yeah.
You're
Um,
very attractive, even though you smell like fish.
Well, you know
can
what?
slap him for that one.
You're a bit of a charmer, I must say. Tamley, she does look old enough to be your mother, by the way.
He's into it.
Didn't mean to
Lady
interrupt
killer.
your goings about, Miss Tamley. We'll be on our way.
Where's
Gotta
my
go.
MILF hat? Man, I love fish.
No! Oh,
Can we get that on a t-shirt?
oh,
I think they exist
that
already.
exists. That already exists.
oh. Oh my god, hang on, my brain's rebooting.
I need to be taken out.
Taken off.
I need to be taken
and
out.
shot.
and
maybe.
shot.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay. All right. Well, a complimented Tamley will usher you all out gratefully, but she certainly does have to go and see about plugging the breach in the town's defenses that her fishery is now on the front line of. So she
Women
gathers
love
some
me,
things.
Fish fear me.
Stop.
He's trying to get literally every sleazy line on a t-shirt you can possibly think of.
Oh my god, how?
If you need help getting that gate installed, Tamley, let me know. I'll see what I can do, just as long as I get a key to it in case we need to get back in.
Oh, well, certainly if you want to go use it, of course. But probably best, if anyone gets injured, though, I'll be sure to reach out.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And she will move about her business, and you all find yourselves in town.
Oh.
Apparently, Calbum, if he made it his way here, he apparently snuck out without drawing any attention to himself. But Calbum is good at that.
He is
Yeah.
good at that.
I guess we should go drop these books off.
Yeah, we're getting a great workout though, Drevin. Really really flexing over there.
Yeah, walking through the whole tunnels there did kind of start to weigh on you a bit, but you manage.
Let's go sort through them, see what Morlabent wants, what he don't. Either the library can take or I can take.
I'll let you guys deal with that.
Yeah, that's.
I'm gonna go lay down at the church.
Just drop
Still
the books down.
very sick.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
still not
probably,
feeling so great.
You do got that anti-plague I gave you still. So tomorrow morning you get a bonus.
Oh
It's
no.
it's at the point
Don't even say it. Don't even say it.
I need to roll a 1 to fail the save.
Well, he said it.
So I'm just gonna have to roll a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want me to roll it now?
No, we can we can let the
Suspense.
suspense build as we go.
I'm gonna be.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Don't
Nick,
even
honey,
think that way.
Honey, stop fighting it.
We
the
lost
more
it.
you
We
fight
lost-
it, the more likely it is to happen.
We lost
Shut
the first
up.
friendly one. We got to get our next friendly one.
Yeah, we gotta have another one on the list.
Oh my god.
I'll grail 2.
And you can't say that I created an undead because I'm going out of my way to drink anti-plagues. The ones
It
just.
wasn't intentional.
Yeah, it was not intentional.
You know what? If it happens, I have no control over
Yeah,
it.
the
That's
dice-
just
the
what's gonna
dice tell a
happen.
story,
The
I
dice tell a story.
If he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah. Let's get these to Morlabent. Then I can take care of. Next time, if you're gonna swing at me, at least try to listen to Najee.
I'm sorry. I was.
Naj
in
was
this-
like, it was a really good swing.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
Naj
it
didn't say it
hurt.
to you. In your brain.
It hurt. It was real bad.
I'm so sorry. He blushes and he looks absolutely gobsmacked with guilt.
Like, don't. No. It was really good. You should be proud of that swing. That was a really solid swing.
Be quiet. You're
Look-
making me feel even worse.
I mean, I was surprised with how cramped it was. I was surprised you didn't hit the wall. But I mean, you avoided it, got it straight down the back. I mean,
Look, I know my business, unfortunately. Sometimes.
I'm just gonna need, once we get these books dealt with, I'm gonna need some help bandaging that up. It's real
Yeah.
hard to work on your own back.
We'll take care of it. Don't worry.
Marker. We have important business to conduct today.
Oh, it's true. But let me drop these books off. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I have 4 bulk of books I have to go drop.
Well, now you have an extra 10 because Drevin dropped his load of books onto the
I had
sidewalk.
9.
Huh?
I had 9.
9. Okay, lovely. And went off to leave you all in charge of it. So
I think we're both just
you're
maxed out on
all
encumbrance.
just hauling this stuff, drawing some looks.
We're
and,
booking it.
Booking it indeed. You managed to make it about halfway there before someone comes over to you with a wheelbarrow and offers to help you.
Oh,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you. Who is it?
Generic peasant number
I just
34.
wanted to annoy you, Nick. Sorry. No, don't worry about it. I will give them a silver piece to thank them.
They gratefully decline it, saying, please, it's the least I could do for the heroes who are storming that awful place for us.
Oh, he'll blush a little. Thank you.
And he'll kind of trumble, townsfolk number 1. will
Townsfolk number 1.
Trumble the books with you over to Morlabent's, help you unload them, and then vanish into the crowd, never to be seen again.
Damn it.
Next time it'll be townsfolk number 2.
I miss Bebop already.
And
What are his motivations as a character?
Tell me about his family history.
What's he do for a living?
Does he have any distinguishing markings?
Mm-hmm.
Make up an accent for him.
Yeah.
How many siblings?
Yeah, exactly.
And do they live in town? And where do they live?
And where do they live? And what is their favorite food? What's the family name? What's the history of the family within town?
they have a crest?
I have
Yeah.
Otari lore. I would know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Yes, and then Corin just mysteriously falls stricken with sickness.
Oh no, hold soul 4. Oh, that's awful.
How'd that happen?
So we have a delivery from Morlevin.
You have to leave from Morlevin. Morlevin sees you truck all of these books in, and his eyes, at first his eyes kind of perk up when he sees you bringing books in. It's like, oh, excellent. I can't wait to see what you've managed to find. And then you bring more books in, and he gets impressed. And then more books come in. He's like super impressed. And then you keep bringing them in, and his eyebrows just kind of come back down. And by the time you bring all of them, he's like, did you even bother to read the books?
These ones, I didn't get a chance to go through to figure out what's worth in 1/8. There was a extremely angry ghost woman trying to kill Calbum, and we found them in a secret room off to the side of a restricted section of the library.
That is literally his face right now.
So
Yeah, exactly. That expression right there.
we got everything we could,
That's RBF.
and I figured
That's exactly it.
I will help you go through these of what's actually worth your time. The rest, if you want them, you can have them for free. Otherwise, I'll take them off your hands.
Well,
For free, first of all, negotiations here are devolving fast.
I don't need to negotiate for things that I don't wish to spend space in my
Precisely.
store on. But if you would please produce the list that I painstakingly wrote you.
He just pulls it out. I just didn't get a chance.
Yes.
go through it.
And he stretches them out and he starts going through the books.
And I'll help him out, just searching for titles and going through.
Yeah, Morlevin is he's not the most, what would you say, friendly person normally. But he knows his stuff. You know this as a local here who's been around him for a while. He doesn't respond well to petty inconveniences, as is something that he amply demonstrates by muttering and complaining under his breath literally the entire time.
I bet he would have responded worse to the ghost eating him alive.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's why he didn't go into the dungeon.
That is true.
So, as I recall, we had, not counting the 9 bulk of books that Drevin just piled into his pack, how much books did you actually bring back this time?
So we had 3 bulk of pre-assorted good stuff.
Yeah,
Cool.
this
And
stuff
then
that we knew.
1 bulk on you and 9 bulk on me of the random assorted books from the secret library.
Got you. Okay. So he's going to pay you 15 gold for the sorted books that you brought back. And going through the 10 bulk of books, just kind of moving through all of them and just going down this list, he does find 1 bulk of them that he will take, which is worth another 5. So you have a total of 20 gold for that.
Okay, so we've gotten a total of 35 gold out of the
Correct.
books.
The remaining 9 bulk of books he is not interested in.
You know where that 9 bulk of books is going?
And
Calbum's
he
Cave.
very much asks you to please take them out of the store.
To the library.
We'll take him up there, see if they want any up there, and whatever they don't want, I'll take. Because I can read through them,
A
figure out what's
racy
going
romance
on here.
novel. Ooh.
Actually, Nick, what I'm going to do before we take them is, because these were in the restricted section, I'm actually going to scry them really quick and see if there's any, extremely, intense emotions or anything like that that come from any of the books, because those he would be sincerely interested in, because it probably means that something interesting happened to the person holding it while they were holding it, or there
Sure.
could be something very emotionally laden inside of them.
Okay, so there are
diary.
a
Yep.
few books here
This
that
one rings of romance and drama. The title is Twilight.
It's a bodice ripper.
All right, so you are able to find a few interesting. So you don't really see any super heavy types of auras or anything over them. No one used one of these books to kill anybody with. No one killed anyone for one of these books. None of these books were something that someone felt so strong about that their dying spirit chose to haunt it. So the psychometric resonances over them are fairly weak, all told. However, there are a few of them that do have a different feel to them.
Is it a mouthfeel? I hope not.
I mean, it depends. You gonna put it in your mouth?
Nope.
Don't ask questions if you don't want.
How to get diseases very quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
Put centuries-old books in your mouth.
Probably be fine.
I'm
Probably.
surprised they stayed intact.
Well, they were kept in a library, which was, the place you keep books to make it particularly good. So there are some books here, however, that are probably, let me see here, they were written down on a list, which are, I'm sorry, he actually, you only have 8 books that he didn't buy, so 25 total gold, not 20.
Okay.
One of these books is Strange Aeons. One is called Secrets Between the Stars.
Well, let's see here. There's Ineffable Hauntings. There is Pathway of the Worm. There is...
We went down
there's
that.
a couple of others, which I'm positive I had written down, but it doesn't appear that I did. So.
I think I had started asking you about them, and you're just like, I'll give it to you later, and then we never got to it.
Oh, fair enough. Well, anyway, yes. That list of 3 titles that you wrote down on the creepy list of, I need to copy these. I will get them to you soon, my love. That one there. You have those books now. They were in the scriptorium. Apparently, they never finished getting copied before they were... before the supervisor was murdered by her workers.
I'll just write down 3 creepy titles.
3 creepy titles is a fine way to do it. And, Orogu-san. Villain point. Normally I'd wait until you're out of villain points, but I'm a sucker for giving GMs the funny points.
That is true.
I will put them to good use. That makes 2 from Oroku-san now.
Use it to make one of us make the next NPC.
I mean, I could use it to make one of you the next NPC, depending on how well the ghoul check
That is
goes.
what we're looking for. I like it. I like it. That's the kind of thinking that I like to see.
Once we're done with that, I'll sneak off because Nil wanted to talk to me.
Fair enough. These books are, just real quick about them as you go through them, they are on various topics that would not really fit well in polite society. Necromancy. Pathway of the Worm is about transforming yourself into a
Worm that walks.
mass of living leeches.
That's why I'm bringing them to Nil.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I did find some other titles. What the Worm Knows, Grave Feasts, and Secrets of the Skull.
Oh, there you go. Pathway of the Worm was a different book that Jupiter managed to find. But yeah, Morlabin does not want these in his store because he is a respectable businessman who's a part of polite society. Doesn't mean that you might not find a less savory buyer somewhere in town. But,
Like Cowboyman Nil.
What's her name?
Who?
The drug lady?
The truck.
Yin?
Yeah.
Yin doesn't
That's
read.
not her interests.
Yin can't read.
Yin is an entrepreneur, first off.
Yeah, but I get to decide what I give her.
I can necromancy my bank increasing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure she's got buyers in Absalom that'll take them, but I at least
But
want
we
to...
could use them.
Nil could craft herself a
Surprisingly,
leech body.
I agree with
Yeah.
Nil. We should at least study up.
Yes.
All right. Well, sneaking away with ill-gotten gains from the...
Ill-gotten.
Sneaking? We were paid for this.
No.
No, I mean
Mocker's
sneaking away now.
away.
It seems that you're going to be going your separate ways unless Corrin wants to follow Mocker along.
But we still have books to take up to the library.
Oh, that's true. Here
luck.
you go, Corwin. Bye.
Yeah, good luck, Corwin. Excellent, Mocker. Excellent.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, I know we have them. I'm gonna
I
read them later.
I am not even remotely talking about that. I have important things to talk about as I turn away. And I open a little bag from my pocket, and it's got tiny little eggs in it.
I mean, this is
And-
a very important matter.
Yeah.
And yes, Mako, isn't it beautiful? It's beautiful.
It's going to be Boocifer and Fucifer and
Ill,
Crucifer
ill.
and
Hundreds of
Lucifer?
eggs. Good
Ill.
luck.
But
There's not hundreds of them.
Oh,
there
really?
are dozens.
Okay. But that's a lot of names.
It's
So
still a
I
lot of
will-
names.
I will. Can I? How? Do I know how to take care of
Can we
these?
take care of
Centipede eggs, they generally take care of themselves as long as they don't get eaten by predators. So
Excellent. Okay, Mako, we have important jobs to do.
Alright, we have to find a nice place for them to grow up big and strong.
Well, in my pocket.
Okay.
And then also, I think we should take turns watching them.
Agreed.
In case anything interesting happens.
I'll make a schedule.
Yes, thank you. This is why I brought you along.
Mocker will make like a Monday through Sunday schedule of like feeding them, babysitting them,
They
watching
don't
them.
get fed yet. We think they might get fed, though. You never know.
What do eggs eat?
You never know. What if they wake up? What if they hatch while we're not looking? They need to have food in case so they don't starve.
Yeah, I want to do some research on what they eat so that we can feed them later.
I mean,
If they may or may not be centipedes, so we'll see when they come out. I heard that's kind of just
Just a bunch of
up to
contract
fate.
demons come out of the eggs.
Yes. Oh my goodness! don't tempt me like this.
a bunch of little imps. Let's make deals. Let's make deals. Let's make deals.
All I
This
know is
would
if all
be
the centipedes have 3 heads, you run.
Wait,
No, that is when I keep them and name
That's
them.
when they eat you.
Every single head gets a name.
Nil, do you know who... All right, go with me on this.
Okay, I'm going
So
with you.
someone had to lay them, and then they had to be, pollinated, as it were. Like, but who's the dad?
You don't think that Mocker understands how eggs work?
Yeah, clearly you have
Pollinated.
no idea. These just appeared in existence. That's how babies are made.
Mocker's gonna start writing stuff down. He's actually not really sure how babies are made. To tell you the truth, he's heard so
I
many
woke
stories.
up. I woke up. We were running away from that thing, and they appeared. So I assume.
No
Mocker?
plan survives contact
Yeah.
with the player.
When a mommy
Mocker.
dwarf and a daddy dwarf love each other very much, a rock shows up in their arms and it becomes a baby.
No, they
Don't-
pop open a geode.
Look-
and the
Oh, the
baby's
baby's inside, yeah.
Mocker has heard so many stories of how babies are made at this point that he really has not been able to get any firm grasp on the concept. So, I mean, this is just his newest theory.
And this happened today, so it's the most recent theory.
Yeah, there you go. That's how science works.
Yes.
I mean, temporally speaking, it seems the most relevant. Okay,
Yes, so
babies
that
come
is-
from eggs and they just appear because we want them to.
Well, yes, exactly. This was rather unexpected, but no less welcome.
Okay.
Them, and I'll be like, okay, well, and when were we supposed to meet up with the others? We're going back, right? It's only like
Yeah, I do have to go to the temple real quick. I have to show the priestess something. But yeah, then we'll go right back in because we have to go to the fleshy room.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we
When
dropped
do we
the
want to
books
meet
off.
at the tunnel?
Yeah,
the secret tunnel.
we'll meet at the tunnel.
Okay. Great. Are you gonna tell Drevin when you see him at the
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Corwin probably knows. He knows most things.
All right. Well, what's Corwin gonna do while all this nonsense
Well,
is
I'm going with him to transport a bunch of books to the library.
All right.
And talk to a priestess again.
Yeah, you all kind of haul these books over to the library. As you approach, Vandy is gonna come out to meet you because Drevin got there first. Corwin, and goodness gracious, quite a haul you had there from the evil library buried in the swamp.
I figured some of them might be of interest of just like general storage. They don't all seem like necessarily bad. There's just some odd things. Just that image appearing on
Yeah.
screen, just fading and just, oh god.
It's
More
coming to eat your
horrifying than the
soul.
gibbering mouther.
That is the look of Nimbleoff.
Oh boy.
There's no soul behind those eyes.
Yeah.
You can pretty easily tell where the mouth ended originally, and then they
Yes.
just widened
They
it.
made it larger.
And I'm like, just make the lips wider as well.
I
What
bet
a
she
weird...
could like just eat a whole hamburger.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
a great point.
It's South Park Canadian. Her head just fully separates when she
Yeah.
speaks.
I was thinking more Fizzgig from the Dark Crystal, but I doubt anyone's going to realize that except for me and Jen. But
I don't know. There could be some people online who are, people of tolerable sanity.
Her mouth is wider than her neck.
Yes.
Whoa, you're right.
She couldn't eat that hamburger.
It gets
In one
stopped
bite.
up.
It's like a snake.
yes,
man.
I was just singing. It's like a snake. It just
Unhinges.
it just goes down.
There's just a hamburger shape.
Somebody didn't study their
I'm
anatomy.
actually really interested to meet this woman now. You know.
Maybe she is.
Nil looks at it. It's like, you look perfect.
Yeah.
You should be a friend of mine.
Yes.
All right. Vandy directs you to kind of put the books down to a corner, and kind of says, "Well, we'll go through them.
Spray
If
them
there's
off
anything
with
that's
holy water."
inappropriate, they'll take care of it."
Yeah. If not, if they're not up to par with the library collection or worth keeping. I'll keep hands on them just to read through and research and whatnot.
Well, fair enough. In the meantime, here, both of you, please come with me, and she'll take you off to a side office and kind of sit down with the both of you. Well, you'll sit down. She'll kind of stand up on the table a little bit. So, how have these visions that you were complaining about work? You seen any more of them?
Not so far. I mean, I think someone else might have, but hard to say, really. They just kind of went into a stupor and got back out of it.
Well, needless to say, simply being distracted or becoming dizzy, that could mean all sorts of things.
This was in the middle of pitched combat, and it didn't seem like nothing else had happened to him.
Probably for the best then. But keep an eye out, and well, we'll let you know if there's anything that we can do. Although there's these sorts of things, they tend to cause a sort of spiritual damage, and it can be very difficult to recover. So I'd probably caution you to guard yourself as best you can.
I still got pull out the symbol of Sarenrae. Still got this on me thanks to you, and well, I'm looking into my own things, not particular of the, damaging sort, but more the how to fix it sort. Sent off some words to Absalom to see if any, priestly sorts knew how to go fixing ravaged souls and all that.
I could certainly have made those inquiries myself, but maybe it's better if you just see what you can find first. Let me know. I do still have some friends back in Absalom.
Of course.
And the temple there has, well, far more resources than us out here.
It probably won't hurt to reach out to them.
Of course. Well, then, if you're fine with it, I'll go and draft a letter.
Fine by me.
Aside from that, please tell me about your adventures.
Well, he still ain't doing too hot after.
Well, it's just
recent
been another day, and she'll kind of start to look through your eyes there. It may be, well, I'll have something else to write to Absalom about.
I gave him
I'm surprised that it's still here, but it'll be worth it.
I gave him
Don't
an
worry,
anti-plague.
Drebin. I'm not going to let this go further.
Pop the cork on the anti-plague.
Yeah, I gave him one of them, and, I can look into, mundane means
Just
helping out.
Keep focusing on it. Make sure you catch your rest. Try not to overexert yourself.
That's the plan.
He
Rest
says
for the rest of the day.
He says carrying 10 bulk for like 40
I
miles.
was carrying
I'm not.
16 bulk, thank you. That was my maximum.
Yeah, he's not overexerting himself though. Don't worry.
You got any use for him this evening?
Well, I mean, aside from being heroes of the town, I was going to let him rest, honestly.
I was just gonna see if he could help me move some stuff. I got a new shipment in.
You're going to have him help? The man is sick, Corwin.
Yeah, but he's also about 4 times as strong as I am. Even in this state.
You let your friends rest when they're sick? Surely it
but I
can't be
also-
that important.
But he's.
Well, it
strong.
does come down to treating what's making him ill.
What do I need to move?
Just some alchemist equipment. A couple of boxes of bottles and whatnot. It's nothing too bad.
Vandy is shocked past words at your callousness to your friend. Shocked!
When you roll that one, it's Arcadis' fault.
It really is. It really is.
If it'll make me better faster, might as well.
That's the goal. I mean, I can make more of them anti-plagues with it. Plus, while you're over, I can start working on treating the wound itself.
Can't you have Altamok help you move it? He seems very eager and not sick.
I mean, yeah, but I also can treat him while he's there. There ain't
You
much.
know your limits better, but
I'll
don't
be fine.
If you
Don't
don't got
exert
magic
yourself.
to help him, it's the best I can do. Like, I can't treat him from afar.
I'm not arguing with you treating him. I'm arguing with him having him move furniture before you do so.
I need a hero point so that if it's not a 1, I can re-roll it and try and get a 1. Because I can't spend this hero point. This is a Serenite special right here.
What?
He has plans.
I have plans for this card.
Okay, all
It
right.
will probably kill me, but it'll be good.
Oh gosh, making me nervous. All right.
I have a card that could potentially kill my character. I think that's pretty good.
Well, you know what? It's always good when we have a hand grenade in our pocket.
Exactly.
And we just don't know.
There's no pin. I'm hoping the pocket keeps the spoon down. We'll find out.
That's why they say pocket carry is a bad idea, guys. That's how that works.
About 10 minutes later, Altamach will run into the temple. Oh! You will not believe what happened to me!
Oh, splendid. Please, let me know. You're by yourself, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She'll kind of gesture you in. You certainly seem very excited.
All right, I'm going to take my shirt off, but it's not what you think.
That's an odd thing to say, but...
I just didn't want to start getting undressed. It makes ladies nervous.
Well, it's also very rude.
But that's the only way you're going to see it.
Oh, gosh. You,
I mean, you
get
don't gotta-
scarred up again, did you?
You don't gotta take the whole thing.
There
off.
it
Just lift
is.
your shirt.
So you take it off and you turn your back, revealing the oath that's been scribed into your back. And she kind of covers her mouth at first, and then like her eyes kind of go over it, and she kind of like stutters a bit. Mocker, we definitely appreciate, the devotion that you've shown.
No, I didn't
But this
do
is
it.
hardly necessary.
No. I didn't do it. I had a dream, and I met Sarenrae, and I woke up, and I made her a promise, and I took an oath, and this was carved into my back when I woke up. Do you honestly think I could do? How would I? He starts kind of going around in circles as he tries to even show her how that even would have been possible, and then he kind of gets a little dizzy.
Mockery, you do understand I wasn't born yesterday, right? I understand how tattoos work and how people pay other people to put tattoos on their back. I
It's
understand
not
this.
a tattoo.
Well, Mocker, look, I
As the
appreciate your
lady
zeal.
is my witness. I do not lie. It is not a tattoo. I met her, and she took my oath, and this is what happened. And now when Drevin heals me, it feels different. I glow.
Okay.
I can tell you.
She's very tolerant. Very tolerant lady here.
Well,
did
Mocker,
show up-
let me fetch you some tea, and you sit right there.
Mocker is going to take
And
out a
let's
knife
get
and
some,
cut his hand.
Let's get some ointment. What are you doing?
You
Heal
stop
me.
trying to make blood oaths with people. That ain't how it works.
Stop!
Heal me.
Stop! She gets she actually pulls a handkerchief out and presses it into the wound.
No,
I'll
do the
get
magic.
it.
Do the magic.
Honestly, Mocker, and she just ignores you and just ties it shut. If
Mocker
I heal you
looks-
with magic, you won't learn anything.
Mocker looks really grumpy.
Thank you, Tansy.
Mocker-
Encouraging the derp.
Hero
Encouraging
point
the
from
derp.
Bar Saves the Whales. Well, shit, I'm intrigued, derp.
So that's
I
two.
get 2.
One from Tim C, 2 on Kofi.
What? Another one on Kofi?
Yeah.
Hero point for derp. Here you go, derp from Tim C.
So he's
Oh
maxed
my
now.
god! I don't believe that worked.
But yeah, that's how it's dirt.
That's what I do.
He asks for them and people give them him.
Oh my
All right,
He
god.
so-
whines like a puppy.
I'm going to say
Give him them.
Push Through the Pain was Tim C because I saw his first. I'm fine, but that took a lot out of me. And then Run and Shoot is from, what was the other name?
Bar Save the Whale.
Bar Saves the Whale. So,
Excellent. Can we can we in this case in particular can we re-roll twice? I mean, I'm just saying.
Can we use a hero point to intentionally fail?
I mean,
Twice.
I will
technically
spend-
that's the effect of
I'll
the
spend
reroll.
both of these to intentionally take a 1 on that roll.
Oh no.
I'll do it.
Oh no.
We could
Look,
all
If he goes with me, I can treat disease, and he can't fail on even a 1.
That's not true.
I don't think it's that. I don't think his fort save is quite that high.
No, because I succeeded on a 3, and then it went to a 2 with an anti-plague.
Anti-plague's a +4.
Yes. I got it from one of the canker ones, not the weaker version.
Yeah.
So I
But
succeed.
if you succeeded on a 3, was that with the anti-plague?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah. you
And
did get it
now
with
I
the
succeed
canker
on a
ones.
2. So the only way that I can fail is on a 1, and then it goes to a critical fail.
Which
So-
I can make not be that because
But then it would go to a fail.
Either way.
So either way, a 1 is a fail.
Oh no! Drevin accidentally locked Corwin out of the room.
Whoops.
Oh no!
He already locked me out of our own house once this week.
That was your fault.
That'll teach you to leave your house.
I know,
without
right? How
your
dare I?
keys.
Or your phone.
How dare I check the mail?
That'll teach you.
Honestly, I'm just so depressed.
You can't just
You
go
need your
telling
MILF ad.
people, I saw your god, and they told me to put words on my back.
It's okay. She'll believe me eventually.
If you keep putting it out like that, no, she won't.
Well, apparently Tamley was unconvinced, but you know that something special happened between you and the Lady of the Dawn, and that oath on your back is proof of something. And indeed, something different did happen when Drevin exposed you to Saren Ray's holy magic. So
I didn't
maybe.
realize you were a Serenite.
Neither did I.
Huh? What'd I say?
Devin.
My name.
Oh, yeah.
Subconsciously, you remembered it.
That'll teach. Well, I mean, I remember your name.
Yeah, but how often do you
how
call me
dare
it?
you?
Never, because you go by
Exactly.
your screen name for everything.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, everybody calls me Derp. That's just the way it is.
All right. Well, what is Nil doing as these jokers have gone to the temple to go be extra pious?
I'm,
The opposite of that.
yes. I'm going to, well, I did say that I was going to go back to the tunnel. So, I want to go back and investigate the kobold lair. And
Okay.
You're
see
gonna
if
find
there
a
is
kobold and get
anything
eaten.
cool down there in the general vicinity of, like, I don't know. There might be something cool. I don't know.
So you're just looking for something cool and interesting.
They could have anything. I don't know. They're little dragon people.
I mean, it's technically true. I
They
They
guess.
hoard
that is an
anything, right?
Apt description.
You've
All
got
right.
like a 99% chance of finding a stone tool of some kind.
Yes, that would help me in the
there
future.
might be a scale somewhere.
which is great for potions.
Bugs.
And also super.
So you
These are all wins.
you get to go downstairs. All right. So you move back to the fishery. Tamley has wasted no time in cordoning the area off.
Just boxes.
No, like armed guards, basically.
fair.
And
They've got their fishing poles.
yeah, exactly. And they're actually going to be using a putting heavy things on top of it is always a good start. But upon hearing that you want to go back in there, get kind of some odd looks, but kind of shrug. You are one of the heroes who are helping.
A hero.
Heroes.
That's the very accurate description of me.
It's a very useful description to have
Yes,
attached
yes,
to your name.
yes.
And they will let you back down as and they will of course ahead of time work out a very convoluted knocking pattern for you to go on the door to make sure that they know that you're not a monster trying to sneak into the town.
Excellent. I like your thinking.
And then once you're down there, they
It's
will
the entire national anthem.
yeah,
Yeah.
they will push. No monster would be able to sing Otari's town anthem. And they'll close the door behind you and push big crates on top of it.
Excellent.
And you find yourself down there. All right, so you're looking for cool stuff. You're not going to run into any kind of monsters down here, so we don't have to worry
Darn it.
about...
No purple worms?
well, they're around, always around, but not here. Just
Too close to the sea.
They're too close to the sea, exactly. It's too wet here. They don't like that.
it's
Why don't
moist.
you go ahead and just roll me a flat d20?
This is where we do it.
Ah!
Missed the tray completely.
The nervousness.
It was a great. I was
That wasn't
nervous.
even a
Just
roll.
re-roll
You
it.
just dropped the die.
Do you have a hero point?
Yeah, but I like my hero point.
Yeah, but you could re-roll
It's well, I mean, I don't need to find
Just
cool
ask
stuff.
for more hero points.
That's an 8 on the die.
An
Chat,
8
please,
on the
0 points
die.
for everyone.
All right. So you spend the rest of the day down here combing through the warrens, and there are dozens of, not really rooms, but more like niches and pockets and compartments and pigeonholes and all sorts of weird little things to explore. By the end of it, you are able to put together an interesting pile of what some people would call junk. You have broken pottery. You have you find plenty of discarded scales. The scales actually are the same color as the rock dust. It's this grayish thing. So whenever you think that there's no scales in a room, you'll stumble on one just sifting through things because the color matches so perfectly. You will even find a broken bit of horn that looks like it was damaged in some sort of kobold
None of this
scuffle.
is junk.
And there is one other thing that you're able to find in the section where there is you found these broken pots. Kind of digging through all the junk, you're able to, and the pots are all fairly unadorned. Like they're literally just super basic clay pots that were thrown together to hold stuff. You do find a small pot, about that big. It's like a jar, really. Has a lid, and it has a kind of a crack running down the side of it, but it is intact, in fact. And there seems to be a slight tinge of something about it. It's out of place. The pot is very intricately worked. Not the work of kobolds. Clearly not the work of kobolds. They found this somewhere, or found it somewhere.
Yeah.
And it is seems to be fairly well constructed, even though if it's been poorly treated. And looking inside, it's got something that's odd about it, but there's nothing really in the contents, although a smell kind of comes out that is... It's herby, it's spicy, and there's the prickle along your senses that your training has come to associate with magic. But there's nothing in there right now, but this is just the residue that's here.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. I will collect all of these things. Excellent.
And you have it. And that's what you're able to kind of haul out with you. An archaeologist's dream, everyone else would look at it and be like, that's a pile of trash, but...
Excellent. Well, I did actually plan on staying near here. I guess I could go back to my house. How far away would it be from, like, my little...
Otari is not a big place.
Okay, well, I guess I could go. I could sleep in my own bed, that's fine. I'm not ever going to complain about that.
You could just sleep on the floor of the Kobold Warrens.
That's what I was planning if it were further away, because it would be cooler to, experience.
What, camp out?
Yes,
Kobold
kind of
Warrens.
neat, I say.
I'll let Corwin and Drevin know that Nil and I had planned to meet back up at the entrance to the caves to walk back to Belcor's lair, so we don't have to walk back through the swamps.
That's fine.
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. Okay, that's way easier. I'm gonna say I'm gonna need like an hour or so to get this set up.
No. Tomorrow morning. We're gonna sleep in a bed in town because we're here, and that just seems real nice.
So, Corwin, you managed to get this crate of supplies open, and with the help of Drevin kind of hauling it around, and then you're like, this couch and this lab table, can we flip them, and kind of trying to make the arrangements all proper. You managed to set up your alchemist kit. It comes with a little, sort of like little rack of tubes and Bunsen burners, and not Bunsen burners really, but kind of more like alcohol lamps. Yeah. And kind of racks to heat up some alembics, and you've got all sorts of nifty stuff put together, as well as a nice assortment of various supplies and reagents that are commonly used by alchemists. You basically got yourself a beginner's chemistry set, the type that you can't buy anymore. But man, I had one when I was a kid.
I think I did
You're
too. They
aging
were actually
me.
really neat.
They were really neat.
I had a little microscope and everything.
You could
I had a
like
scalpel as a child.
you could have. Don't get me wrong. You could burn your fingertips off if you were an idiot, but you just learned not to do that.
I had a kit that let me dissect a butterfly.
Did it come with the butterfly?
Yep.
Dang, fancy.
Got it at the Museum of Natural History in New York.
Fancy. Look at that. Look at that. I don't know if you
Back
get
when
those
they
anymore.
gave kids cool stuff.
I know, right?
Probably on like eBay.
Yeah, maybe. Probably get it there. But anyway, Corwin has a My First chemistry set that you've managed to set up, and you can start working together with some common type of reagents.
It'll take a little while here, probably about an hour, but then I'll be able to have my my new toys for when we go back in the morning.
There you go. I
would
think you have to
use
set them ahead of time, right?
Yes,
All
because alchemist education, you have to take an additional feat to get quick alchemy. So
Yep,
I'll be
yep.
choosing them in the morning.
Very good. Just go ahead and make a little list of what you got there.
Yep.
I would like to go through the Saronite library and see if I can find in some of their books, in some place in history, a tradition of anything happening similar to what happened to me. Like, I'm looking for maybe like a different expression of Saronite faith or some sort of like historical precedent for what happened to me.
Okay, I get that. So why don't you... so lore I think academic lore would be absolutely perfect, but I doubt you have it.
Yeah, I do not.
Yeah, so just go ahead and...
I got religion.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, let's do religion. Religion's good.
Okay, I am an expert now. That is a 16 on the die for a total of a 24.
Okay. So it's going to take you the rest of the night. You are going through books, and you are talking to librarians, and you are doing some research, and you're looking through not only just old cults of Sarenrae, because Sarenrae is old. Sarenrae has been around for a long time. Sarenrae isn't one of these newfangled gods that are, several thousand years old. Sarenrae has been around pretty much since the beginning, and in one form or another. So the history of Sarenrae's cult is massive, and you quickly come to the understanding that the library of the Dawnflower Library, while it is quite an impressive structure and has lots of material in it, is nowhere near sufficient to fully contain the entire history of Sarenrae's cult. However, you do find a few interesting tidbits that you're able to look through. In particular, Sarenrae is treated... The relationship that Sarenrae has with her worshippers is different based on the relationship that the cultures have with the sun. So, coming from an area of relative temperance and relative with successful agriculture, Sarenrae is nothing but extolled for her mercy. That is the core trait of the modern Sarenite cult in the Starstone Isle, and likely for all north of Avestan, northern Avestan. However, when you get to the southern section of things get different. And not different as in Sarenrae's mercy isn't still there, it just becomes less important. So, for example, heading further south to the Osirian Desert, Sarenrae is still very, very big, but the sun is almost merciless. You get, that's a lot more from the you get one chance type of situation, where you see where Dreven is sort of kind of taking that on. That is almost like backseat to the mercy takes a backseat to the you get one chance, and then it's unforgiving. Because indeed the sun in the Osirian deserts is very unforgiving, and this isn't really ascribed to like a different. This isn't cast in a sort of an anthropological light the way I'm describing it to you. This is cast in terms of religion. It is no. Sarenrae is just way less forgiving of the desert, and that's why it's a desert. Is how that works out. And so the people there worship Sarenrae because not only for respect and for fear of her, but also because this area drew so much of her ire, it still must be an area of import to her. So they still consider themselves to be worshiping Sarenrae by living in this inhospitable place. And so Sarenrae also takes on this element of a tester of men and women. It hardens the people and makes them stronger for it. And that sort of cultural take on Sarenrae's cult is kind of well spelled out.
More resonant with him.
Yeah, and quite possibly, yes. Mocker, comes from, has a fairly, I guess, unstable life. He travels a lot. He explores dangerous areas. He gets into fights daily with things that want to eat him. A lot of the talk of this cult would sort of resonate with him. Interestingly enough, while different other types of religions, you might have a great deal of friction between sects, it doesn't seem to be that way for Sarenrae. The nature of Sarenrae's sects across the world is sort of viewed upon Sarenrae's different attitudes towards those areas. And because that can all be traced up to a common understanding of how Sarenrae does things, it creates sort of a sense of harmony. People don't say you're doing it wrong. People will say, you come from an area where Sarenrae treats you differently.
You know what we call that? The Saren way.
I mean, you know, that's actually pretty good, actually. No, that's, I gotta say, actually, yes. The Saren way is kind of and this is possibly also a side effect of the fact that Sarenrae has been around so long, is that almost has become, the sun worship is a core tenet of Galarian and always has been, because the sun has always been here.
Can I check this out? This book?
We don't normally let people take books, but since it's you, we'll let you take it with you.
I'll make sure nothing ever happens to it. It's very precious to me.
Of course. And the librarian is quite understanding. It seems being a hero of Otari has its perks.
You get a library card.
Yep.
They don't just give those out. You can read here.
He'll pull out one of his very precious waterproof sacks that he usually puts very precious things in, and he'll put it in there and he'll tuck it in his robe where he can always feel it against him.
Okay, I'll go spend a gold piece on that.
I will.
It is it's made out of a very sturdy canvas that has been treated with many layers of oil and wax to repel water, and seals up. It's one of those bags you have to kind of fold down with or a flat rod over and over and over and over and over again. Even the rod is lacquered, and then it snaps shut around it. So it is basically as waterproof as you get. You could fall into a lake and this would probably be fine.
Okay, sweet.
Cool. Now then he'll go get what sleep he may. Maybe 2 or 3 hours.
Alrighty. All right, it's that time.
Oh, it's that
Okay,
time.
so-
It's that
I
time.
have multiple questions to ask.
Oh boy.
Can I use 2 to just take a 1 on this?
No, you cannot use 2 to just
Okay.
take a 1 on this.
Okay, so then a different question. Push through the pain. Play before you attempt a fortitude save.
That's
you get
this
a
one.
success.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're drained 1.
Okay.
That's a success. Can I then re-roll that success with drained 1 condition? Then I fail on a 1 or a 2.
That's a weird
That's a
question.
weird question, but that's a valid question.
Isn't it still a fortune effect?
So technically yes, but hero points are weird and funny. But at least GGT hero points are weird and funny.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with that. You already got the success.
And then I'm
Re-rolling the die
re-rolling
wouldn't
the
change
success.
it. Because you'd still get a success no matter what's on the die. So I think strict rules as reading it the way it says, no. But do you want to?
I'm also going to give him a +2, so it's a moot point.
Then I'm
You're
just
gonna
going
go
to
for that
roll it
one.
and see what I get.
He's just
Well,
going for that one.
I gotta see if I give him a +2 or +4.
That's
'cause
fair.
it's a
He
strange
could also
disease.
roll a 1 and I just die.
This is.
I don't think that works
That's
that
not
way.
how it
Yes,
works.
I think
It's
we
not.
should totally
It
make
would give you a -2.
Yes!
it'd be
roll a 1!
But this is is a medicine check against the DC of the disease.
Oh, so literally
Okie dokie.
roll a 1.
Yeah.
Can we get
Overall
2
all over
1s?
again.
So just to confirm, you got bit by the canker cultist, right? Not one of the little scut ghouls?
I got bit by 3 ghouls, passed 2 saves, failed on the big guy in that first ghoul encounter.
You failed on the big guy. Okay, just want to make sure I'm looking at the right thing.
So that's
That's
a 2.
a 2. That still succeeds.
What's the total?
15.
It does not succeed.
So it's
Yes!
It doesn't succeed, so you just don't get a +2. You
That
still
means
have
that
a
I
plus-
have a chance
You
to
still
fail.
have the bonus from the anti-plague.
Yes. Because I'm not going to not drink it. This is a story that is told by the dice.
I can't risky surgery this because it's only treatment.
I mean, you can stab him with a knife.
I
So
can
there's
just
a
stab him,
0
yeah.
on top of that 1, and I'm going to, of course, I will
What
use...
is your total?
It is 24.
Okay.
But I am re-rolling it because
gonna
I know
re-roll
that
it?
succeeds.
It's a 10, so it's a 50-50.
So-
It goes lower.
I'll spend run and shoot because I don't have ranged
Yeah, I'm
attacks.
probably not gonna need that one.
Throw your
Spare.
hammer.
Hold on, one.
20.
It
14.
went up slightly.
no.
What up by 4? That's not a small amount.
Yeah, so it is a 28, which will critically succeed.
It will not critically succeed,
Oh, good. No, that's perfect.
but you will normal succeed. So,
I
Go back to stage 1.
Yeah,
You
so
you wake up feeling a little bit better.
my healing's not halved anymore, which is nice.
The color in your eyes are better. You're not quite drooping so much. Your teeth aren't quite so pointed. And
His gums are nice and pink.
there you go.
I
Pinker.
think the nose is the tell. It's now a little moister.
Ew.
That's how you tell if a dog's
Little
healthy.
cold nose. Yep, that's true. That's true.
Put my nose
All right.
to Draven.
And you wake up feeling slightly better. And since we now know that Draven did not immediately fall down Ghoul Highway, he still could be. I don't know.
Still can. We're not out of there
We're
yet.
not out of the woods yet.
Got one more
Despite
save.
his attempt to sabotage his own recovery
I have another
check.
attempt.
Why don't we go take a quick break? Go ahead, stand up, stretch your legs, and we'll continue the shenanigans and chicanery when we come back. Welcome back, everyone, to Abomination Vaults. Episode 14 and a half, 15. Whatever it says
Also
on there.
known as Revenge of the
5
Flesh Room.
3/4.
That was so loud in my ears. I'm very glad Corey did not have the headphones on for that. Clack, 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 clack. I was
Welcome
like,
back,
ah.
everyone. Abomination Vaults. Last we left our heroes.
I think you
Why
call
you-
us explorers in the
I call you
the line
explorers in the
notification.
room. Yeah, it
It's
just makes
appropriate.
sense.
Sound so dubious.
No, heroes is perfectly fine. Just put an asterisk.
Yeah, that's it. Heroes, alleged heroes. There you go.
I feel very heroic.
Circumstantial.
Very heroic. You are very
Yes,
heroic.
thank you,
Absolutely.
thank you.
They had retreated to town, divested themselves of the obscene amount of books. Some of them were even worth money. And
Technically, all of them are worth money to the right person.
correct.
We just
but
don't know
you
what
just don't
most
know
of
who
those
those
people
are.
We, it's okay because those people don't know who we are either.
And so, like
Exactly.
most people who have a bunch of stuff that they want to get rid of but not feel like they're being wasteful, they donated them to the library for a tax write-off.
And
Is
then
anybody
Tax
keeping a track?
episode!
Yeah,
He
so
started it.
I'm going to need to know the Atari tax code
The-
right now.
yeah, well-
I need to know how much of a write-off I'm getting.
Oh, I've got it, man. I've got
You
it.
came to the right GM.
Wait,
I
Personal
know.
property taxes in Otari are very personal indeed.
Wait, so because we're currently delving into the Gauntlet, is it considered as part of the town itself, or do they consider it a separate entity
It
for
is.
the purpose of taxes?
It is totally separate.
Okay.
It is
so
totally
everything
separate.
brought back is
Otari does not
100%
own Gauntlet
Yeah.
by any stretch.
So that means that everything that we bring back is 100% personal property.
Can I
and
go to-
can be taxed.
and it can be taxed.
Okay.
It's also income.
Can I go to the mayor to get an archaeological grant?
True.
You could try. None of you ever thought of talking to the mayor, but the mayor did talk to y'all, and he's probably pretty happy that there he is. He's going off doing stuff.
Hey, Nick, remind me again. We're sponsored by some people, aren't we?
We indeed are sponsored by some people,
And we are some people.
and we are also some people.
You're people. I'm
But
not people.
we actually have some sponsors. Check them out if you'd like. Arkin Forge, Eldritch Foundry, and Norse Foundry have a little discount code. You'll see them popping down there in the little sponsor window down at the bottom right of the screen. And feel free to check them out if you'd like to. Eldritch Foundry, really cool minis. Norse Foundry, awesome dice. We use them for everything that we do.
What about
And-
Hava?
Sorry?
What about Hava?
Stop.
I'm not
We're
even
doing
gonna
a
fall for
sponsor
that.
read.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day, good people at Arkin Forge.
Where's your mic?
Those people.
Turning your microphone off.
I hope you didn't break that microphone. We have to go recalibrate the whole thing. now.
I didn't even hit the
Ah,
button.
okay. But
It's just
then,
been off the whole time.
There you go. Arkin Forge views them for all of our maps, our effects, all of that great stuff. Check them out. Show them some love. Also, check out our Ko-fi or Patreon. We have lots of stuff that we put on there. $5 a month, I believe, gets you access to absolutely everything. And check it out. Use our code UGT Show down on the bottom.
Our post shows and potentially more stuff here soon. It's in the
Yeah.
works.
Coming up with cool stuff for that. And why don't we take a minute to go around the room and introduce ourselves and our characters and what we're gonna be doing today. Start with Nil. We never start with Nil. Actually, we start with Nil very before
I'll
you
start because I'm very excited. This is Neil Grumman over here. I have a new and precious cargo that I am carrying around. Very exciting news.
Yep.
I am a dwarven druid. Loves all things living, mostly monsters though.
Mostly awful
Living is a
things.
term you can use.
Well, I mean, sometimes it's easier to study things when they're dead. So, I'd happen to like to, if they're already on the easier to study side. Either way, I'm over here just living the high life now that I have basically won the game already. Is basically how I view this. It can only go down from here, guys. So I hope you all know that.
Get down to the bottom of the gauntlet.
Moving on over here.
The exact opposite. The illiterate paladin of the god of you get one chance, or the hammer gets you. Drevin Sorrel, howdy, I'm Derp, and I play the paladin man, Mr. McNoll. Very large, very full-platey, and it hurts when you get hit by the hammer. So you probably shouldn't lie.
It doesn't hurt for long though, because you die.
Yeah, that's right. It's very quick.
That's it again. And I'll go over here.
Well, having woken up about an hour before our large dog friend, just going about, some weird new alchemical experiments, get some things prepped here. Corwin Vashti, resident medic of the party, and Otari Lumber Surveyor, who has not been able to do his actual job for some time, thanks to, you got to figure out why people are going missing in the woods in order to send people out into the woods.
Very important, very important. And finally,
Altamok Makor Thorngard, newest Osirian Serenite, keeper of the Desert Way.
I don't think you can just change your nationality.
Yeah.
no,
Faith
that's the origin of
protects.
the cult that she is identifying
Okay,
with. Yeah,
the cult identification.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are who we pray to, my friend. And I pray
That's
to
blasphemy.
Serenray. And, I'm also an alchemist, so what I believe goes.
You're not an alchemist, though.
You are not.
Oh, sorry. Thaumaturge, thank you. You were talking about alchemy. I got really obsessed.
We're all
I'm an
alchemists
alchemist. I mean, if I give you
Thaumaturges
bombs-
mean that what I believe is real, and I believe that this is real, and thus it is.
You just have to have a convincing enough argument about it in your head, which is why it uses charisma.
I also believe that gnomes, when they fade, grow scales, and that's how kobolds are born.
It is a pretty good theory.
It is. Thaumaturges also have dubious knowledge, by the way. This morning, you all wake up in your respective things, but first, Nil notices something interesting. A kind of twitch is happening in that pocket.
Excellent. I don't know how far my house is from Mockers.
Well, it's Otari. It's not a very big town, so can't be
You
that far
see
away.
a half-naked dwarf sprinting, just like
Still in her
full-
PJs.
Best day of
Just-
Mocker's life.
Yeah, sprinting, barging. The door goes flying.
Beard
running
flapping
out
in
of the
wind.
basement of a fishery, a half-naked dwarf flees through town.
Yes, all the way. There's and then you're actually probably already awake because I sleep much later.
Yeah.
But anyways, you see and then I open up.
Probably on his way to meet you.
Yeah.
Probably yeah. I have to circle back around
Oh.
In a panic.
in a panic.
Oh. I didn't realize that was your color.
White, very very translucent. And then I will open it.
Little pocket opens up, and you can see that a number of these eggs have hatched, and little tiny centipedes are
How many
coming
of
out.
them smell like sulfur?
None of them smell like sulfur, but they do have a slightly reddish tinge to them, much
They're
like their mother.
Beautiful.
And if you look a little closer, is that a little pair of
They're
little
little
horns on top of each one of their heads?
I missed Junior, and I am like panicking. I'm like, I think I missed the first feeding. What if they're starving? Do you have the food?
I have the schedule and I have the food.
One of the little centipedes kind of crawls out of the pocket and looks up at you with its little centipede eyes, and it goes,
I'll take one of the little packets of worms I bought and I'll put it in my mouth and I'll.
And this is
Into
how
the
you get your
pocket.
lips bit and poisoned.
It's fine. They would never.
you all
She knows I'm
start
bad.
feeding your new brood
You
of
all.
yeah.
Those two.
Yeah,
You're
I
right.
would-
You're not there for this.
We're
I
having a
wouldn't- I
nice
wouldn't-
breakfast.
I wouldn't. But you
So are
guys-
they by their standards.
Yeah, you two
What's
are,
that?
are
Sorry.
enjoying feeding your new brood of devil promised centipedes,
They're so cute.
and they get their little tiny pincers. And
This is how we get new species
And
of
they kind of
monsters.
swarm.
They're aggressive.
And they devour the worm, and then they look up for more.
Oh, yeah, he has plenty.
And you spend the morning feeding these centipedes, and the centipedes will actually leave the pocket and just kind of roam around for a bit, and find their way bit by bit into the bag with the other bugs.
Excellent.
And except for one of them, which kind of stays up here on your shoulder and just perches there.
I will make a hat. Don't worry, it will be a great hat.
It kind of looks at you and goes like,
Is the hat for you or for the centipede?
Obviously for the centipede. I don't
Okay.
know what you think you're talking about.
Well, I don't know if you're going to make like a hat that you could sit up there and have a higher viewpoint.
That is a great idea. I know.
I have crafting. I'll help you out with that one.
I have crafting too, so
Oh,
this
even
is
better.
gonna be great.
I can
So-
aid you.
Some monsters are from the nightmares of gods. Some monsters are alchemical creations by mad scientists. Some monsters come from a bug-happy druid that makes a deal with a devil.
Well, also, I mean, also deals with other gods too. So
Well,
I'm excited.
we clearly have to name the singular centipede that remained outside the bag.
No,
Centipede.
it is just centipede.
No, his name, that is Lucifer Jr.
That is, she did actually already name that one.
that's fair enough.
Unfortunate.
Before we leave for the day, I'm gonna cast runes to see what shall become of them. I want to tell Lucifer Jr.'s future.
You want to tell Lucifer Jr.'s future?
Snacks.
I need to know what my son shall do.
Oh my god.
I'll be like very wary. Don't tell me if it isn't good.
It's gonna be great.
I know you're not supposed to lie right now, so you're gonna have to word it carefully.
All right, cast your, put them in the dice tray. Cast your runes for Lucifer Jr.
And from the heavens, an angel descends to end the anti-peat.
All right, how many faces did you get, and how many tails did you get? You got 3 faces and how many tails?
9. That's actually a really good ratio.
That's definitely off average. All right, so you cast these runes with your very basic kind of fortune-telling skill that you have.
It's the nun skill that I have, but he believes they work.
Well, you are trained in occultism.
That's true, that's
which will work. It's no lore fortune telling, but it is occultism, which will work okay. Thank you. You are able to your fortune comes together, and you see that this little guy is going to be living a successful life. Overcoming obstacles, and he will grow with abundance.
It's as we predicted. We're gonna be such good parents.
This is excellent news. This is our future. We are going to have an army of excellent sidekicks.
Tim C, he's going to college.
Yes!
He's gonna have a little mortarboard on his little centipede head.
Our son is magnificent. Here.
Excellent. I will train him to be the leader of the next swarm army.
Okay, we can go now.
Right. So you're having a normal breakfast.
So, this stage of ghoul fever is damage.
This stage of ghoul fever is no damage.
No
No,
damage,
actually,
okay.
you're just you're feeling pretty good, but there's still signs.
Yeah.
You don't feel quite over it yet.
Got the a couple of pieces from Ogrel just in some vials, slowly being boiled down and figuring out. You got to work with ghoul parts to fix the bad part of being a ghoul.
Yeah.
So just set that aside and let it go through the alembics and all the fun stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's right. I forgot Corn's basically doing homeopathy, so
Yeah.
that tracks, actually. That's how that works. So you'll go and start kind of bubbling up, and you cook up your potions for the day. And before too long, any preparations that Dreven needs to do? Aside from a small corner of him being slightly disappointed, he's not feeling more ghouly today.
His morning prayers.
A huge part of him. The small corner is really underestimating that.
The part of him is entirely his player.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Probably just eat and enjoy that there's a morning sun.
The joy of being a marshal, ladies and gentlemen. The
Yep.
joy of being a marshal. Well, you all rendezvous. Nil and Mocker have the most pep in their step you have ever seen.
There are rainbows. There are stars popping out of our eyes. It is like an entire SpongeBob whole artistry over here.
The glow of parenthood is a beautiful one.
Imagination.
It's the 10-minute walk cycle.
Yeah.
And you, when you're there, there's
Wasn't that an entire episode?
Yes.
Yes.
you manage to make it back to the entrance to the tunnel, and there, one of the guards hands you a letter. Says, "Oh, your gnome friend dropped this off," and you open the letter, and you can see that it is in Calbum's very slanted, messy, and very hastily written hand. I have to check something out. You know who may have done some you-know-what at the you-know-where, and I have to find it out. Burn this letter.
Immediately.
Oh, wait, hold on. There might be a... Oh, no, it's gone.
It explodes into... The whole letter goes up at once. Calvin clearly treated it with something.
Excellent. He knows how to cover his tracks.
Oh, my eyes are all
There
stinky.
could have been a code. Oh, no.
No, there was no
Go
code.
in.
He would have said.
Codes can be broken. You can almost hear Calvin say that to you one night.
I guess we should go to the room of all flesh.
Well, no. What about the room in the hallway?
I think that's how we can get back inside, because I don't want to go back to where that flesh monster is, and that was the only
Someday.
other way I saw.
Someday, I would like to study that.
When I have enough oil to cover the whole thing and light it on fire, and it can burn to ash.
Well, it's gonna be hard to study after it gets to ash. So,
I'll teach you some alchemical ways to do that. The ash has residue and whatnot that you can actually build out to.
you don't understand that I like the viscera part of this.
Eh,
I think it's just a miscommunication.
So are we going back down the tunnel then?
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah,
that
there
tunnel!
was that door we saw down that way.
So they'll let you back down. There are already supplies are being moved to the front of the fishery. You see some iron stock that has been brought in, and there's measurements being taken, and workers are getting together, getting ready to go and build this iron grate to go and block this entryway off. But undeterred by this, you head on down into the Cobalt Warrens, making your way through. And, what did you do with all that junk, by the way? Because there's a fair bit of it.
Marker. I forgot to mention recent developments have been too exciting for me to handle. And I will pull out some scales of the dirt variety.
Ooh.
And a little broken horn. And a little pot. I have found some treasures. They are really remarkable.
So is this what gnome sheds when they turn into kobolds?
This must be the exact. I might hide it from our dear friend Calbum because it might be too sensitive for him.
I don't want to traumatize him or risk him going and fading and turning into a kobold. That would be awful. I'd feel so guilty.
So I will
You
keep-
could just ask him if that's what happens.
That is so insensitive, Dresden.
No, it's not. It's direct.
That's also can be considered insensitive.
By who?
This is some really good
The
esoterica,
people
though.
who were asking. It is, and I thought it would be good if you discreetly kept this, how. I just always worry about other people's mental, livelihood.
You are so sensitive.
Yes.
I'll
Well-
take a look at the pot.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I thought it was interesting.
It might be exactly what you said.
You're going to take a look at that pot. And, the pot is actually very interesting. It's not Cobalt make. It's a pot that has a crack down the side, but otherwise looks like it's in pretty decent shape. The interior of the pot has what smells like some kind of either alchemical or definitely reagent residue in there. But your finely honed senses can kind of pick up sort of a feel of magic associated with it. So there's definitely something here that was contained within this pot at some point that was more than mundane.
There is some sort of magic in this.
We'll keep hands on it. We can either wait for Calbum to get a look at it, or I can take a look at it later.
I'll give it to Calbum. He finds these things really interesting. I'll tuck it away for now.
Okay, sounds good. The rest of you pile into the, well, all of you really, pile into the tunnels, make your way back through the cave, and come back through the tunnel to the secret door that is still marked in chalk. No one has cleaned it off since you came through. And
Secret door time.
secret door time, trying to figure out how to do it. Who wants to try to figure out how to open that door now that you don't have a gibbering Malver
I'm
actively chasing
gonna
you?
open it.
Try and force it.
Yeah.
You're going to try to
Can,
force
can
it?
I just force it?
You can try.
I'm pretty sure that's gonna force it.
Well, what'd you get? Because this is a slab of
26.
rock. 26. You slam your shoulder into this, and you hear a crack from
Is it my bones?
behind it. No, it's not your bones, although they do not feel very good right now. But you hear a crack, almost like wood cracking, which is a little bit unusual. But because this is a stone wall, but that's
Not
what
anymore.
you hear, but you don't actually get it open.
Push a little harder with me.
Wait, can I make a? Can I just look at it for a second? Can I
Sure.
do like a crafting check?
Sure, absolutely.
I'll aid.
Go for it.
That's 15 on the die plus 8 is 23.
25, expert, plus 2.
25 total. Yeah, so you check this out, and it's actually not that hidden. It's just that you all didn't have much of a chance to look at it when you were running for your lives last time. There is a
Yeah, there's a chalk marking on it.
there's a catch in the corner, just like kind of in the shadows by
Is
the
it
door.
broken now?
No, it's not, because Drevin
excellent.
didn't hit that
Aw.
particular thing.
Okay.
But you open it, it goes down like halfway and then gets stuck. So something got a little bit jammed. You have to really muscle it down, and you hear a clank loud that will kind of fall over, and the door will just kind of swing outwards slightly. You guys were trying to push a pull door,
Yeah.
and kind of hook your fingers behind it and pull it back, and you can see some cracking around the wooden frame in the side. But it opens up, and you are behind a couch. And looking past the couch, you're in the familiar environs of the visitors' reading room.
Very destroyed.
Well,
Visitor's
that's a
reading
little
room.
bit tossed right now, yeah, because this is the place where O'Grail was captured by the cult, you recall, and dragged away. But yeah, you can see the stairs leading up to the second level to your right, and you are in this little visitor's reading room. This was a secret door,
This is
and that you just didn't notice when you were in on the other side.
Shortcut.
This is so convenient.
It's a shortcut back to town, and, well, if we could find a way around that big old flesh monster, it's a shortcut further in.
Yeah, like
I am interested. Did you hear my conversation with Bones? He said that there was actually a cage somewhere on the second floor that was used to hold an enormous and majestic monster. I
Yeah.
don't remember seeing anything like that. Do you remember anything like that?
No, and I'm not too keen if it's... You said it was a purple worm?
A majestic and magical monster, yes.
Yeah, I ain't too keen on meeting one of them.
Well, if it's in a cage, it's gonna be great.
Wow, I mean,
So it dug through solid stone.
Right.
I don't think anything we've seen in this tower is going to stop it from getting out.
That
if
is
it
why
wants
I'm
to.
saying we haven't found it yet.
If it got hungry, it probably left.
That is not how I'm sure the cage would have worked. If someone like Belcora made a cage for this, she would make it prepared.
Bones does kind of nod his little fish head.
it could be though after 500 years it could be dead if she locked it away and it couldn't get out.
Better for examining.
Either way,
We can get back to where we were going through here faster. He'll
it's
step
also
over the
shorter
couch.
to the second floor. Because, I mean, the stairs are right there.
How much did we? Do you remember how much? I thought we cleared the second floor pretty old, right? Did we
I think
not?
there was a...
Give me a survival check.
Everybody or just
I mean, anyone who wants to think about it.
Yeah.
There you go.
natural 20 over
I got
here.
a 1. I don't remember the second floor.
He's not
There's a
interested.
second floor.
Yeah.
That's a 23 total for me.
You both recall that there was. You're pretty sure that you did check everything out. However, certainly secret doors seem to be a common occurrence in this dungeon. And moreover, you do recall an area in the kitchens that was marked out by the Morlocks as do not go as Belcora's domain, except the Ghost Queen's domain was how it was called. So it seems quite possible
Oh, right.
that was actually a disguised doorway that no one went through.
That was the place that Calvin lit on fire, wasn't it?
It's probably also, it was pretty distracting when that happened.
Yes. Well,
It wasn't just Calvin, it was definitely a concerted group effort, but yes, it was well done.
A responsible party always checks thoroughly in these things, and I mean, if it's Belcora's office, I feel like it might be worth revisiting.
Domain. We found her office, though. That's down here.
That sounds like a reason not to go to the flesh room today. Let's go.
We've got a purple monster to find. Forward march. I am marching with a great vigor.
All right.
My explore action will be recalling knowledge and scrying.
Recalling knowledge. I will let you, if you want to spend your exploration actions reading psychometric resonances, you can do that if you want to. That'll be kind of
Yeah,
like a
that's
special
fine.
seeking action
Yeah,
if that's what you want to
sure.
do. I know you got the pendant out.
Yeah.
All right. So you head back up to the second
If
floor.
we're
I
going on special
had
secret worm
no
hunting.
idea where you guys were going to go today. None whatsoever. I'm so glad I didn't bank on the flesh room. All right. So you head back upstairs, and navigating the second floor isn't too terribly difficult. You do pass an area where the you come back out the area, and the hallway becomes clean again as you enter in the area of the janitor devil, which has been cleaning this area.
We gotta go talk to him real
Stop by and
quick.
tell him,
Yeah, we gotta go tell him real quick that he's free.
We gotta go back around anyway.
Sure. Yeah, and so you dip into the side room and knock on the door, and door will open, and he'll come out looking pretty fierce. He actually has like a broken mop handle in his hand. Wow.
Calm down there, fella.
Oh,
in
it's-
Infernal.
It's you guys. And he'll flip over to Infernal, and his dialect is a little weird because he's got this big tongue that seems to kind of flop around, and it starts speaking in this really weird. Y'all completely lose track of the conversation, but he says it to Corwin, and Corwin kind of like, it's a really ugly way of speaking this language. Certainly not the way you learned it at all. But you can make it out. It's just kind of like he licks every single word before he speaks it.
I hate it.
That's my favorite description of a language I've ever heard. You lick all of your words.
don't-
Yep, before you say them.
I don't like it.
And out it comes. You made it back. Any luck? Did you find my contract?
We found what I think is it. Let me see here. It just starts going through his bag and finds through Zulzgarin.
Yes,
Right.
yes. Give it.
Here, janitorial duties. Have you received new orders in the last 100 years?
Now
You're free to go. You just hand the contract over to him.
he'll grab it and start kind of looking down like this and looking down like this.
Yours is fairly simple to actually read through. There's some more complicated ones in here.
And he kind of has tuned you out, and he's like,
It's just white noise.
finally. And he'll just kind of collapse on the floor with his eyes on his back, his eyes kind of staring upward, his tongue kind of flopped over. And then he'll just kind of bzz, and then he'll just disappear.
Oh, we did
Oh.
a good deed.
That was easy enough. Plus, now we can check anything in here is useful, though it's
Does
the
the-
janitor's closet, so...
Yeah,
Does
there's
the
not much here.
contract,
There's
like-
actually fewer mops than there were the last time you were in here. Apparently, one of them broke recently, which is hence why he had the handle.
Gotcha.
There is one thing that catches your eye. It's a cane that's been propped in against the corner for some reason. It's out of place here, honestly.
Does it have the same? I remember there was a cane last time that he really hated. Is it the same
It's
idea?
the same cane,
Okay.
yes.
Probably used to beat him.
Grab it and give it a look over real quick.
It's actually not too difficult to check it out because you look at it and your keen investigator eye, without any kind of roll, will easily go and see that it disconnects, and you draw it, and it's a sword inside the cane. You have a sword cane. Moreover, as you draw it out and examine the sword, it has a curious luster to it. With your recent alchemical training, you quickly identify it that this cane, sword cane, is made of silver.
Oh, that explained why he don't like it. Yeah.
Yeah, silver, the metal that definitely hurts devils really bad. He would not have wanted anything to do with this.
I'll just pop it back in. Well, that'll be useful for getting leg injuries. Or needing to kill a devil.
This is very true.
Or a werewolf.
Just give it a spin and set it down at his side.
Jaunty
Got a cane
angle.
to lean on.
You have a
Yep.
nice jaunty angled cane that you can
Oh no,
walk with.
I'm becoming Dr. House.
Everybody lies.
It's okay, Najee. You're much prettier.
That's right, I am. I'll cut that sword in half. You know, silver can't hold an edge like I can.
I know. You're so edgy.
That's right. Find something to stab with me.
Oh, yeah. He'll
You'll make your way back to the
cut
kitchen.
a piece of paper.
You'll make your way back to the kitchen. And indeed, there's that area. The kit after dispelling the haunt left over by Gralgast's demise, the area is quiet. There's no sign of any sort of inhabitants, and there's no sign of any haunts, and no sign that anyone's moved in recently. Although it hasn't really been that long.
Been like 2 full days.
Yeah, like that's it. Takes a while for real estate to go on the market in
Dungeon Town.
wilderness land. Yep. Yeah, exactly. And so you find yourself back in the. Do I even keep my notes for chapter 2? Dear God, hang on a second.
Flip back in the book. Flip back in the book.
Belcora has
check.
the worst realtor.
Mahathala.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure where those notes went, so I'll just.
We're just distracted.
I have a book.
We're
right there.
we're buying time for you.
Buying time indeed.
So, buy a hero point right now and get the added bonus of me being a fool with it.
Being
There
a
you
fool
go.
with it is right.
That is guaranteed.
It is
So you're
guaranteed.
back at the in the kitchen area, and you can see that it's clearly a doorway that's been marked out. You don't see the door, but it's clearly a doorway. There's a bunch of like burnt down junk in front of it from the effigy that you all like very meticulously took apart and destroyed, but with some effort you are able to go and clean it apart. I don't suppose anyone wants to.
I watched Nil do the last latch. I'll see if it's in the same place.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
That's going to be a 12 because that is a 4 on the die.
So you basically look right down at the bottom right-hand corner and kind of clear stuff away where you'd expect the catch to be, and it's not there. And you kind of are stumped by this.
My
Surely they would be the
turn.
same.
Can I try and see if there's any mechanical aspects to it?
You totally can. Give me that crafting check. And you just want to ram your shoulder into it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna pull this time.
It's an 18 total.
18 total. All right. You are able to barely actually notice it. The soot-stained walls is kind of really made everything out. This latch is actually up high, and this latch is to. Did you want to just roll your
That's a 22
22? So
to pull the door.
Drevin
I can't.
grabs a section
Yeah, I
and
can't
just
reach it.
rips a panel off the wall. Not cleanly either, like ripping pieces and chunks, which has the side effect of laying bare the mechanism. So you can very clearly see, it's connected to this little sconce
Excellent.
up here.
Good
It's
teamwork.
a lantern hook is what it is, and you just turn it and the thing unlatches and actually swings inward. I'm not doing this on purpose.
All door. It's like the USB drive. All doors go the opposite direction of what you first try.
No, my coworker actually has that power. Every door, he'll always do it the wrong way first.
Like, not the USB drive, an actual door.
Actual doors. He'll always push a pull and pull a push.
Huh.
Normally
It's
they're labeled.
impressive. Normally, he still finds a way.
I'm reminded of that Far Side comic. Midville School for the Gifted, and he's pushing on a pull door.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And it swings open into a dusty, short hallway, which ends at yet another door.
With a handle, I hope.
Is there...
Well, it does, but there are a number of alcoves on the sides. And the alcoves are, well, ominous. You've had bad experiences with alcoves off of hallways in this dungeon.
Maka,
okay.
this is your favorite type of hallway.
Do you want to go first?
Perception. Checking this hall out.
You're checking this hall out.
Trap finder. That's the straight hallway with the door on the other end behind a secret door.
I'm about to scry like a baby.
Not suspicious at all.
Not suspicious at all. You peek into the first two alcoves, and you see a sarcophagus in each one. The sarcophagi are both open
We
and
found a flesh
empty.
room.
Ooh. Sorry, it's open and empty. This is excellent news.
That or it's real bad, because it means whatever was in them is out.
Sounds like I'll be putting it back in. It's a win-win situation.
You
Exactly.
move forward to the next set, and you look to your right, and there's another open sarcophagus. And then you look to your left, and there is a sealed sarcophagus.
Should we open it?
No.
Oh.
I'm scrying.
And you get your scrying is going off, and go ahead and give me a will save.
Of course. It's like a
It's
bad.
bad.
It's a bad Scooby-Doo
Bad vibes.
episode.
You got some bad vibes.
It's a red herring.
I vibe checked the tomb. Oh, people died here. Oh no.
Of course it is. It's
That's what
gonna
happens when
be
you vibe check the dead.
13.
A 13. You are hammered by this hatred that slams into you. And you are smashed by this thing. And it's not just that you are hit by an old hatred. And that's probably what threw you off the most, is that this hatred is current, new, and very, very real. And you are sent reeling by this. And as you are sent this, a black hand reaches through the sarcophagus lid, grabs onto the edge, and pulls up a shadowy figure that appears to be full of basically an outline of a humanoid figure, but with glowing red eyes and hair that seems to be moving about, being whipped about in a spectral wind you cannot feel.
Mocker will get back to his feet and say, "That's it! I'm swearing off alcoves!"
And that's a great time for initiative.
It's probably a good thing for Mocker. Yeah, you know the curiosity seems to be dangerous. 25.
Just with alcoves.
Do we have the second floor? Hey, we do!
Do we have? Do we still? Have
I didn't know if we still had that, honestly.
I don't
so
clear
long.
them out of Arkenforge. We still have floor 1 if we want to.
Mocker is
We'll need
here.
it eventually. Oh, Mocker's
You never
ready.
know the way
Marcus
these
ready,
people
ready.
are doing stuff.
Maybe Bones wants to visit his house. And by house, I mean 1 bedroom.
So, Nil got a what now?
25.
25. Alrighty.
14.
14.
Mocker's here with a 28. That's an 18 on the die.
28. And
19 total.
19 total. Very good. And this thing is going to go right here. All right. This thing pulls up. Mocker, you are reeling from having your mind open. And you are going to be slowed 1. So you are only going to get 2 actions. Thank you.
I'm going to use one of them to take a look at this thing with my esoteric sight and see if I can't fathom something about it.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and give me an esoteric lore check.
Okay. Rockin' a
Ooh,
plus
nice.
11 with another 18 on the die. It's going to be a 29.
Dang. All right,
Yeah,
at
dang.
29, huh?
Dang is right.
This thing's a little spooky.
So that's going to be a critical success.
I hope you really didn't want this thing to have bones.
Well, it doesn't have bones
Doesn't
anyway.
have
It's a
any
About
shadow.
to lose all of them.
Well,
It already did.
can't lose anything. Something you don't have.
So this is a shadow. This is not so much like a ghost per se, but is a type of incorporeal undead that is bound in darkness and can in fact use it can attack shadows directly. So it could actually hurt you by hitting your shadow. The light that is coming off of bones is casting shadows that could be targets. You do have to worry about this. It doesn't have specific vulnerabilities or weakness that you could exploit. However, light is something that is it would definitely give you an advantage against it when crafting a personal antithesis, in addition to being particularly inimical to the Shadow's powers.
All right. And he'll yell out, "This thing can actually move through shadows and use them as power. It's undead. Use your might." And then
Hammercocks.
He'll use his last action to grab the Book of Sarenrae out and open its pages.
The one that's inside your super sealed watertight bag?
It's not super sealed.
It
do you
is
think
super
it's
sealed.
water-
I
That is-
described
no,
it
you-
being very sealed.
You have a pocket Bible.
Yeah, I have a pocket Bible.
Okay, you can just do a normal. That's why I want to say that one,
Yeah,
or
no,
like.
no, I just have my pocket Bible.
Okay, cool. You pull out your Sarenrae book.
The quick reference guide.
That's my second action.
Perfect. All right, Nil, what you doing? An incorporeal undead faces you, kind of.
Well,
This does explain why the Morlocks didn't want to come down here.
yeah, get out. We are looking for something, and like very annoyed.
Yeah. How
and,
dare you?
I'll like wave my staff at it, like quite frustrated that we're getting slowed down here, and that is a disrupt undead fort save.
Disrupt undead fort save. Whoop. Ooh. Well, he gets a 12.
Oh my gosh! Well,
That's
that,
gonna hurt.
That he fails.
Normal fail?
Normal fail.
Okay.
So that's a 5, 8, 8 damage.
8 damage, and it bits of its form get siphoned away, and it kind of hisses. And you've got an action left.
And then I'm going to, what do I want to do with my last action?
Hide in the sarcophagus.
That is a great idea. No, I'm not feeling this thing. So I'm going to just press guidance. Like, can you deal with this? And I'm going to pat the shoulder on Corwin.
Corwin. All right. Corwin has guidance. This thing is going to kind of reel back. Mocker is literally right in front of it. And it's going to reach out at you with this this hand that is kind of going forward. And the fact that Borbo is behind you casts your shadow forward. And you can see the shadow reaching out for it. The shadow being closer than you.
Oh boy.
Roll crowd.
You got a hero point.
21.
That exactly meets my AC.
Hey. Awesome.
I always like when Nick makes their.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. One of my favorite Nick noises.
Take 14 damage as your soul is chilled with, what do they call it now? Void damage?
Yes.
Void.
Yeah, void damage. And why don't you give me
What's positive called?
Vitality.
damage, I think it is. Oh, wait, no, there ain't a save with this. You feel the shadow, it sinks its hand into your shadow and rips away. And you feel something tear within you. You are enfeebled 1.
I got
Wow.
I got so many holes in my soul. I don't even notice.
Now you got holes in your shadow, and it hurts too, but different.
It hurts me in the different.
Different flavor of hurt.
And then what it's going to do is it's going to slip sideways and enter your shadow, and you will all lose sight of it.
Huh. So interesting.
All right, Corwin, what you doing?
Trying to find where this thing went. Because, well, that does change what I have to do now, so I need to find it first. So, seeking and
Thing is sneaky.
just, I guess, 15-foot burst to cover the entire room.
That'll work.
That's a 2 on the die, though, so that's probably not going to succeed with a 13.
You have no idea where this thing is.
Good.
It's dark and shadows everywhere. It could be lurking in any of them.
Keep trying to find it. Just going to keep looking. At least then I can tell someone else where it's at.
There you go.
Particularly someone with a very big undead-hating hammer.
Yup.
That's way better. That's a 17 plus 11. So that's going to be 28 total.
You can make out a slight flicker in the borders of Mocker's shadow. It seems to be in his shadow, shifting and moving in order to stay within it. It's actually the equivalent of standing behind somebody and turning behind them when they move. And that's how it's trying to avoid notice. And it is very good, but you are able to pick it out.
Last action, point it out.
Hey, Drevin.
Right over there, get it.
Hammer.
Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god.
Yeah, cousin
Specifically
duck.
targeting the shadows.
Specifically targeting the shadow. That's good, because if you miss, you just hit Mocker's shadow and not Mocker.
Exactly.
Cousin, make your shadow longer.
That's going to be a 27.
27. Palpable hit. You plan right
Do I have
into
to
this
do a
thing.
flat check, or I know where it
You
is?
do not need to do a
Just
flat
making
check.
sure.
You pointed it out, and
16
because
on
it
the
has
die.
no cover, it's literally just hard to notice.
Alrighty.
And hey, did you make your thing Ghost Touch? I seem to
No, it's disrupting.
It's disrupting.
It works against undead in general.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect.
It was just an additional d6 of damage.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Sounds good.
And seeing as that seemed to work, I'm just going to swing again.
That makes sense.
That is an 18 on the die. So 24.
Hit again.
Excellent. Fishing for a 20 on the third one, as this is at a +1.
Do it.
Nope, just a 12 total.
Yeah, the
Two hits is still two
Your
hits.
wild hit hits the wall and doesn't connect, but 2 solid hits. Go ahead and roll me your damage.
Lots of dice clanking together.
Don't
So-
add it together though. Please keep them separate.
Yeah, they're two separate sets.
That's fine.
I rolled 1, 2, 3, 4.
He rolled a 1 on a d6, a 2 on a d12, a 3 on a d6, and a 4 on a d12.
So
well,
it-
he is swinging into a shadow. It's
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
incorporeal. It's kind of hard to hit.
I'm going to assume it took the 1 and the 3 and not the 2 and the 4.
I mean, you can assume all sorts of things. Why don't you
But,
tell me what the total damage is and break it down by type for me?
6 physical on the first hit,
Okay.
and 3 vitality,
Sure. Okay.
and then 8 physical and 1 vitality.
Okay. So it's definitely resistant to a lot of this smashing that you're throwing at it. But it definitely is taking some damage, and certainly that disrupting rune is doing some work for you.
can't believe you managed to, on two
1, 2,
different
3,
kinds
4.
of dice, roll a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Pretty good. That's pretty good. I'd say what are the odds, except I know what they are, so.
They're me.
What are they?
1 out of 12 times 1 out of 12 times 1 out of 6 times 1 out of 6. All right, and Mocker. Actually, we have to work for combinations, not permutations, so it's actually even a bit better than that.
Mistress of the sacred fire, gone astray in the night. Show me where the light is. And he'll take Najee and brandishing his book of Serenray, he'll plunge it into his own shadow now that it's been pointed out and attempt to use it to call this thing out.
Sorry, you had it pointing towards you, so I was really worried you were about to stab
Nope,
yourself.
shadow.
Okay. All right.
No, because if you stab yourself, it looks like you're stabbing your shadow in the shadow. So that's how
Just
you.
depends
That's,
which way you're facing.
Makes
yeah,
sense.
that's how you do bonus damage.
So you stab the sword down, and the sword even seems to get a slight glow around it as you stab that sword downward. Go ahead and roll me your attack.
And I'm at -1 because I'm enfeebled.
Mm-hmm.
Put a dice on it and see.
That's
That whole thing rolled over.
That was definitely cocked.
Definitely cocked die.
I like using the d6s for it because it's got the biggest face.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is going to be an 18.
18 on the die. It seems that it's become... It is fully aware that it is not hiding right now after Drevin smashed it a few times. It is getting dodgy. You're missing it the first time.
Okay. I will try that one more time.
Yep.
I was almost a 20.
Nearly.
That is going to be
So depressing.
Yeah.
Wow, my brain just collapsed. It's another 18.
Another 18. Again, it'll slip away from you. You have a single action left.
And for that action, I will attempt to kind of rotate myself so that my shadow is right in Nil's sights, so
Oh.
that she can target
I thought it was over me, and I'm like,
so that she can see it and target it better. And he'll kind of call the thing out. Hey, ugly, get out!
You can actually swing back and bat Bones in front of you, and the shadow will move with the light
Yep.
source.
poor Bones. How dare you hit him? My gosh.
Dude, I'm trying to keep.
Coming from Nil. Coming from Nil. And your shadow moves, but the shadow doesn't, and it is completely exposed now.
It's
And-
not that fast.
Nil, you're up.
So at the
it's
whatever
exposed,
kind of ire for slowing everything down is gone. Because now, I mean, honestly, this is quite interesting. I thought I was like, oh gosh, another ghost. But this one's really cool. So I am going to, again, with a little bit more of a, I don't know, like pep tour step, I'm going to wave the staff again, slamming it down and try and suck a little bit more of the not life force. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Fortitude
Death
save.
force. Yep. Fortitude
I like to
save.
think of it as the wife force.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Hey, Tim C. Hero point to Jen for portraying the idyllic man. Huh. I'm gonna think about
You
that.
think I'm sexy, and you're right.
Okay, Carlos, man of love.
What do we have? Hold the line. Steady, steady. Oh, this is good.
That's a really
Why
good
are you
card.
saying it like that?
Because Carlos, man of love.
That's
An
true.
idyllic man over here.
That's true. It's an idyllic man. That's exactly it. All right. Well, Nil?
Fortitude.
Dave. It rolled, well, that's pretty reasonable. That's going to be 20.
Okay, so regular success.
Yep.
6, 9 halved is 4.
Yep. And the thing is starting to kind of peel away into bits and pieces
It's a
coming
big
off it.
banana.
One thing left. One action. Action. That's what that thing is. It's an
okay,
action.
Okay, but I can't.
like
Is
saying-
guidance a touch spell?
I don't believe it is. I
30
believe it's
foot
like 30 feet.
Oh, sweet.
Guidance
okay.
is awesome.
Cool. Well, then I will guidance on Mocker next.
Cool.
Just pass it down the line.
Counter my feeble.
The shadow kind of pulls itself back upright. And you can see its form, which is this indistinct thing, kind of suck in together and then straighten back out. And instead of this sort of ephemeral, like crazed monster, it takes on the appearance of a man. Almost perfect, aside from a pair of glowing white eyes looking out at you. This man is wearing a doublet, nice leggings, at least certainly the shadowy outline of them. Has sort of a page boy haircut, so it looks very like 16th century. And he will look kind of imperiously at all of you, and his mouth will kind of open, and words will kind of form out. Very archaic undercommon. Which you two can kind of make out of sort of despoilers of mine mistress's citadel. You shall meet your end. And he'll clap his hands together, and spikes of shadow will strike away at all of you, in fact.
Is that concentrate?
It is very concentrate.
Oh, he gonna get.
He's about to get hit twice.
He's gonna get smacked hard.
Well,
Well,
I didn't realize
maybe.
attacking them was the problem, but there indeed it is. That's true.
Your mistake was you thought you could do anything.
Yeah.
Mistake was you thought.
You thought you're allowed to do concentrates. You thought you're allowed to do damage.
You thought.
Those are both our triggers.
Oh,
Nice.
that is a 19 on the die. We're finally here.
Solid hit.
How's that
And
crit?
it's -1, 29. I don't
Plus
know.
one.
Does it?
Plus one.
No,
You
no.
have guidance.
You do have guidance.
But I also am enfeebled,
enfeebled.
minus
Oh, right,
1,
right,
so
right. Yeah, so
it's
it's a moot.
just even. So 29.
29 is not a crit, but a
Damn
solid
it.
hit.
No. That's a 7 on the die too, which is nice.
Super
We'll get
solid.
the implement's actual interruption part at some point.
That's gonna be 16 points of damage.
Whew. And again, that shadowy form resists a great deal of it, but it actually, Najee's got ghost touch.
He does have ghost touch. He doesn't
Never
resist
mind.
any of
You
it.
rip through that form, causing him to kind of shriek out in pain, doing quite a bit of damage. Hey, Drevin.
So, who would
Damaging bolts of shadowy energy
Everybody.
spear through everybody.
Do we
Fortitude
need-
save at some point.
like, yeah, fortitude save, and assuming that everyone is going to take damage, 19 on the save, and I suppose that Nil will take 12 less from this.
Okay.
I
And
did
he's
roll
gonna
a
get-
natural 20.
Dude,
Oh,
so you're
well,
not
yeah,
gonna take
so
any
you're
damage.
fine. So then, Corwin.
Okay.
It's not healing, so it doesn't affect any of your stuff.
Yeah, I just take less
You
damage.
take 12 less, and I get to hit him in the face.
I also probably failed.
12 less?
Yeah,
because it's an
18
undead.
total.
18 total. That is a fail, but the Saren Ray's Holy Shield will protect you from all of it. What did you get?
19.
19. So the two of you will both fail. You will each take 8
We both got
points
a
of
19.
negative damage.
So none for me, 8 for you.
And none for Nil.
Yes.
Protected by your stalwart soul.
On
You've,
that,
you've certainly experienced worse.
Well, it could also kind of just vacuum into the staff a little bit.
Oh, there you go.
and on that retributive strike, I did roll an 8, but swinging down through its shadowy force, the light of Saren Ray will blast its form off of my hammer, and I'll re-roll that for push through the pain, which I believe was from Tim C.
Yep.
Tim C. setting it up for the counterstroke.
To a 3, so I miss either way.
That's like an
Fair
8,
enough.
but you cut it in half.
Yeah, I just took half it off.
All right, and that's that thing's action. Corwin,
Well, it's not hiding this turn, so step
How much
1.
damage did it do?
8.
to you 8.
Okay.
Well, it's not hiding this turn, so I don't need to take actions to point it out. So first off, we're going to devise a stratagem to see if what I'm thinking is going to work here. 'Cause
Alrighty,
it's a weird shadowy thing.
what'd you get?
That's an 11.
Hey, that's pretty decent.
I'm pretty sure a 21's going to hit it.
You can definitely think that.
That's what I think. Gonna spend my other action to pull out this little weird kind of wispy filled jar and hurl it at this thing. This is a ghost charge.
Ghost charge. You hurl this thing with a grand total of a 21. Yep, that's 21. This thing is going to sail through it, and it will twist away from it. The bomb will pass through its shoulder to hit the wall behind it and explode. So that was a very close miss. But it
Well.
will take splash damage.
Yeah, it's 1 vitality.
1 vitality.
Unresisted. It's meant to
However-
kill ghosts.
I don't need to hit it for the effect to happen because there's no save on this.
Okay.
Any undead with negative healing or incorporeal that is hit by a ghost charge damages at all,
Uh-huh.
enfeebled 1.
Hey, there
That's
you go.
money.
Those charges are nice.
So
Take that.
Very good.
this thing blasts out with this light, which, by the way, washes over Drevin and Mocker and Corwin, and you all don't take any damage from it because you all are alive.
Yep.
That's why it's a ghost
If anything,
charge.
it feels kind of nice.
Basically, it just feels a little warm. It's a nice
tingle.
danger close option for the living to use. Very well done. And this thing is peppered with this blast of really, it's like a holy water charge is kind of how it is. And it is like, you can see holes still in the form, and it is reeling from it. You can definitely feel that it is not feeling very good about this.
Just kind of nod up to it and, yeah, your mistress says hello, and by hello, I mean, just stop already.
Okay. Drevin, you want to try to
Hammer,
put
hammer,
paid
hammer,
to
hammer,
this-
hammer. Not 20.
You're blessed.
What?
He's been blessed for a while.
Yeah.
No, like nat 20? Like,
Yeah,
really?
just a solid nat 20.
All right.
You know what?
All right.
It's been like 2 sessions.
It has. It's been a while.
I
smashing.
don't know if this actually works.
What does it say?
Crushed intestines. That's just the title of the thing.
I mean,
What's
you,
it do?
you hit it really hard. What's it do?
Normal damage. Crit effect. The target is wounded 2 and enfeebled 2 until it is no longer wounded.
So it's just,
Isn't wounded something that only happens to players?
technically,
Technically, yes. So
Yes,
just
but
ignore
no.
that and I do triple damage. That's what I say because I don't think that works on monsters.
Yeah, I think that was kind of something that was more designed as something to happen to a player, I get the feeling. Anything else on there that looks pretty good?
Enfeebled
1d6
too.
persistent bleed. The target must succeed at a fortitude save or be paralyzed until healed, or the target takes 1d8 mental damage.
I'm
just
down
gonna-
for the 1d8 mental damage. That sounds pretty good.
Okay.
So double damage from a normal crit and 1d8 mental damage. I like it.
Works for me.
Derp does mental
roll
damage
so many
just standing
dice.
there, so it makes
Hiya!
sense.
I take it every session.
So it will take 19 BAP, which 5 is vitality,
Okay.
and then 3 mental.
Did you double?
So-
I have not doubled this yet.
Okay.
So, the 3 is separate
Okay.
because you said it takes that, but the normal crit.
right.
So it will take 38 BAP.
Okay. So what
10
happens?
of which is vitality.
What happens to it?
The hammer comes down, goes through its center, and the whole thing just... What looks like ash getting spread across the walls is the shadow being, like, smeared against the surfaces. As this sooty coating has now suffused that alcove.
And the
Hammer.
the shadow is smashed to pieces.
Oh, it's
with-
also knocked prone.
Oh, okay. Very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah, yeah,
not
In case
prone.
it wasn't, you know.
Prone against the floor, prone against
And
the
the
walls,
walls,
prone
yeah.
against the ceiling. The shadow's corpus, I suppose, is smashed to pieces, ectoplasm splatting against the walls before dissipating and winding away into nothingness. With a moment to breathe, you can see that there is actually an inscription on this sarcophagus. My loyal Major Domo.
Huh.
We found him.
Wait, so this is the sealed one?
Yep.
After that, I think it's fair to open it up and take a look.
I agree. I actually didn't want to be the one to suggest that, but I just want to agree with
No,
that.
honestly, he's right. We already dealt with what's inside of it, so all it's going to be in there is a body, pretty sure.
I would have liked to open it up either way.
Well, if he can hit the thing that hard and it's just a shadow, just imagine what he can do to whatever skeleton's in there.
Or we can see if there's anything cool in there.
Here. Ow, actually. Ow. Like,
Oh.
real ow.
Yeah, that shadow, it hurts. That
This
hurts.
is food for the soul.
I'm kind of
And-
depressed.
There,
Lay on hands myself.
is it like sealed, just like to be opened, or does it need to have a
It is
mechanism?
sealed
or
in the
done?
fact that it is a big old stone slab
Okay.
that's heavy.
I didn't know if it had like a lock
If
or
I
anything we
wasn't-
needed to pop open.
If I wasn't depressed before, I sure am now, because I
There's-
have to eat an awful berry.
Oh no!
There's like little shells of what you can recognize as little centipede shells.
They molted already.
Oh.
No, it's from the eggs. So you have to roll a second, by the way.
It adds a little
Fortitude
crunch.
save.
I have to look up now. Our centipede.
Oh, I
eggs,
thought
like,
that was a 1! It's not.
The
It
7?
looks like a 1.
16.
16. I believe you're still going to be a second one.
Oh, isn't it decent?
I think it's your DC.
It's
Is
your
it?
Oh, okay.
You need to sit there and retch for a little while
Okay.
while we get this open.
Okay, let's see here. So that is 6, 8, 12. It's worth it.
12 health back. You are fortified, but is it awful?
I throw up a little in
You're
the
also
corner.
feeling a little bit. You're still feeling a little enfeebled. Your shadow is still pretty tattery.
I don't know how I can fix that. I mean, I can. Did you have any wounds show up on you when it hit you?
Najee will glow a little bit to kind of comfort him. He felt really good about that hit. He's kind of glowing a little bit in pride. And Najee will give me a little bit of healing, too.
There you go.
So I'm just gonna take out my crowbar and pop
Najee's
open that
feeling it.
sarcophagus.
With some effort, you're able to grind this sarcophagus open, and laid within the sarcophagus is the body of the Major Domo, who appears to be very similarly, at least dressed similarly to the way his shadow appeared when it took on its humanoid form, and the body is, of course, decayed away into a skeleton. Although there is still bits of flesh clinging to it. In particular, there is, instead of like being laid in a state of rest, the way that you would typically involved with burial rites, the Major Domo has a hand behind him. No. And his second hand
chilling.
is across his chest, fist clenched in almost a salute at ready, waiting for Belcora to give him his next order. It seems that he was laid to rest as the upstanding servant that he was, not in sort of the type of typical, like, kind of thing. It's
He's
just
not
like
in peace. He's still protecting.
exactly. And
Not anymore.
that fist still has a great deal of flesh clinging to it. It's mummified. It's dried and decayed, but there's also a ring on its hand, and that definitely catches Nil's eye. Looking through the rest of it, you do see that in addition to the ring that kind of stands out, there is other jewelry on the corpse, sort of a necklace, a small circlet, and his hand behind, if you want to kind of pull that out. I mean, you are grave robbing after
Grave
all.
robbers. Woo!
There are a pair of golden rings there as well.
The only stuff I'm interested in would be anything with magic. I don't want him coming back again.
Well, this could be if this ring has any magic in it. It seems like it could have made it so that flesh just decays slower, which would be very useful.
Yeah, you want to give that a look, and I can at least appraise the others, see if they're worth much.
I rolled
Yeah, they
max
don't
on
look
my
very
Naji
useful.
healing, by the way.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah,
Corwin's gonna
Nagi's
take the
about
ring.
it.
Corwin's gonna take the rest of the jewelry because, well, you gotta have money for resources when you're ruin delving.
You could probably sell these for a decent, pretty penny. You can go ahead and say that that's 30 gold worth of
Ooh,
goods.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. What is this? How's this ring? Can I roll?
Yeah, so you can go ahead and check it out, but you're trying to pull this off, and the hand is clenched with like an iron grip. You cannot peel a finger back to get the ring off.
Can I take the hand?
You can take the hand.
Excellent.
You pull out your obsidian knife, and with some cutting away and a little bit of
this is my favorite
Turns out
part.
when you're amputating, you have to break the bone.
It's a
does.
risk she's willing to take.
you poop, and you have the hand of the major domo with you. And when you hold it, it occurs to you that together, this thing seems to have more force, more weight to it, metaphorically, than just the ring itself. This is something more up Nil's alley anyway, but you can write that down as Major Domo's relic.
I'm just imagining a monkey's paw, but when you make a wish, the middle finger just comes up.
It's the way the monkey's paw works, absolutely. You already got a wish giver, though. So.
How does Saren Ray feel
Two
about
of you took his card.
grave robbing?
Interestingly enough, she doesn't really. It's
Okay.
kind
I
of a
just want to
thing.
make sure that like we're not doing anything bad. This
No.
is kind of new
If
to
you're
him.
doing it to create undead,
Yeah, if I'm proposing it, it is within the it's okay territory.
Yeah, Saren Ray's burial rites do not involve interring grave goods, and so
Interesting.
there's really no.
We burn the bodies.
Yeah,
Makes
there's no
sense.
prohibition against robbing graves. Really, like most Sarenites are fairly pragmatic in the burial thing. You don't you generally you put things that are sentimental. You put things that are maybe designed to help people move on, but there's no grave good tradition.
He's
so.
new to this, so he figured he'd ask the
They,
expert.
they have funeral pyres. Literally.
And then even from that standpoint, like I'm not robbing this grave. I want it open so that anything magical on the body can be taken off the body.
Makes sense.
I don't care what you guys do with it. I just don't want that happening again.
Despite the fact that that sounds like robbery with extra steps, it seems that
Yeah, but I'm doing it for a practical purpose.
fair enough.
I mean,
fair
I'll say it. I'm robbing the body of its coin and valuables because money.
Thank you, Rogue, with a different job title.
Investigators are just rogues with more brain.
Take
Rogue,
the
but I
hand,
do healing.
put it in a pocket, but I do have to put it into a sealed pocket so that nothing else gets to it.
Don't want the bugs to eat it.
True, you do want the bugs to go and eat it.
Yes.
Side question for you.
Of course.
Coming down here with extra resources in the pile, like if we just wanted to buy extra things to bring down, is that a thing we can do?
To get
Buy
your
supply.
supply over
Yeah.
10, you mean?
Yes.
No, there isn't really. Basically, what it is because the way I'm doing it is as you become stronger and clear out levels, you don't really need as many supply to get through them. So you don't have to really worry about trying to use supply on areas that are kind of still in the upper levels.
Fair enough.
Wait. I had forgotten. We have a mission.
You mean the one at the end of the hall?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured that's where we were going.
Yes.
This was just kind of like an interruption.
I know.
I'll lead the way, I
I'm
suppose.
not going in
Excellent.
any more of those alcoves.
Yes.
Well, there's two more up ahead, so careful.
And the last two alcoves also contain two crypts, which are both open. Interestingly enough, it seems that this was a crypt that was laid aside to inter the most faithful of servants, of which only one ever met Belcora's strict credentials.
Picky.
Yeah,
I
that's-
Oh,
suppose.
he must have been like really good.
He must
Must
have been a
been really good.
major
Really good.
domo.
As I reach forward to open up the door, we will fade to black.
Interesting.
Actually, we can open that door,
Yeah.
because as you open the door, you are greeted by something interesting. First off, this is a perfectly circular room.
No Hounds of Tindalos.
That
No
ain't
Hounds of
easy to
Tindalos
carve.
can come into this room. And it is with the walls being that trademark imperishable stone of the Gauntlet itself. This appears to be the Gauntlet room on this level. You recall seeing this construction on the 3rd floor in the Gauntlet reading room. That ribbon of blue light moves up from the center to the ceiling in the same way that you would have seen it on the 3rd floor below you. And the most impressive feature is there is curled about the center and walls is a gigantic corpse of a purple worm.
Hey, we found it.
Excellent.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm glad that's a dead body.
Yes,
Otherwise,
me too.
pretty sure we'd be dead right now. That is huge.
Open the door. Home.
Hi there.
Oh, this is a weird cave. Why is it suddenly all dark in here?
Oh, poor Craggle Guts.
Mm-hmm.
And on that note, we will investigate Craggle Guts's, well,
Craggle Guts.
guts to next time.
Down
Leaving the
Craggle
flesh
Guts.
room for another week.
Down Craggle
Well,
Guts.
we're leaving the hypothetical flesh room for the literal flesh room.
There
Yes.
is literal yeah. Well,
We have found.
We don't know if there's flesh in that room.
yeah,
we
don't
know there's flesh
There's
in
a
this
corpse.
There is indeed. Thank you for joining us. Feel free to check out our other UGT shows. Strange Aeons just had its season finale.
Yeah.
Check out that VOD if you want to see some crazy good times.
Want to see me solo a boss?
A phase of a boss.
And also we have, let's see, Secret's still running?
Yes,
Secrets is still running Wednesdays, right?
we got weeks of that. Like that's,
Awesome.
That's a full series now.
We
It's
got
not
a
a short
way
form.
longer thing than it had last time. Secrets
Yeah.
Between the Stars, check that out on Wednesday. And
Wednesdays,
of course,
7 p.m. Eastern.
we certainly hope to see you again next week here for the Abomination Vaults.
Team Obama time.
Ab-
Team Obama, please.
Maybe Calvin will have caught up and dealt with whoever was doing whatever and wherever doing, the thing.
Whatever conspiracy.
The thing
he's
in the
hunting.
place with the guy and the people.
Exactly. Burn this letter.
Exactly.
And you have a great night. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.